Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. For more information, visit championslane.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. As we get ready for Alabama men's basketball tonight at Mississippi State, here are post-game thoughts from Saturday's game from Alabama men's basketball head coach Nate Oates.
It looks like we need some leadership to step up. Some guys that want to get everybody together and say they're tired of losing. Stuff's got to change. It's not a talent problem. It's a focus and effort, a competitive juice problem. So whether if they're not as connected, that falls on the leadership of the team. And we've told these guys, I mean, we're here to help you. This is your team, your season. I'll be coaching for a long time after this. They get one opportunity with this group to put it together, and that's it. So, if they love their brothers and they want their teammates to perform well.
I'll have more in a moment.
Tide fans, are you ready for game day in Tuscaloosa? Don't miss the ultimate pregame experience this season at Vector Security Champions Lane, opening 4 hours before each home game. This fan fest has everything you need to get pumped for kickoff. Located next to the Walk of Champions, you'll enjoy live music, player autographs, the best food trucks from all over Alabama, and ice-cold beer in our Legends Lounge beer garden, where there's never a cover charge. Check out championslane.com each week for the latest updates. Roll Tide!
If you missed last night's edition of Hey Coach and the Nate Oates Show, catch it on demand on the Alabama Insider Podcast, available on all podcast platforms, plus a video replay on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This hour of Talkin Ball is brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. When you need service, rely on Talent. From system installations to tune-ups, rely on Talent. Online at talenthvac.com.
AL cert number 21014.
As we flip the calendar to 2026, the holiday season may have left you a little short in the bank account, but Talent Heating and Air will not leave you out in the cold.
That's right. We're still offering free second opinions and service calls with repairs. In addition to that, we're offering up to $1,600 in TVA rebates.
Very easy to do. If you need that $1,600 rebate, all you got to do is
give us a call at 256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air, they're live, they're local, and you can find them online at
talenthvac.com.
Who doesn't need to save
$1,600?
Very easy to do. Again, Talent Heating and Air, the number and the web.
That's 256-503-4490 or talenthvac.com.
It's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. Give them a call today.
Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you go. Big thank you to Talent Heating and Air for helping us get going here on a Tuesday morning. Another chilly start to your day. 30 degrees right now, 56 your high today in the Tennessee Valley. If you take the wind chill right now, it feels like 28 degrees. Talent Heating and Air can help you feel a little bit warmer on this cold day. 256-503-4490, talenthvac.com. Thomas, Terry, Jeremy can get you going in the right direction. Again, you can save over $1,600 if you need a new unit. And if you just need a tune-up, $49. $50 rebate from TVA. You can save $1. Talent Heating and Air, talenthvac.com, 256-503-4490. A lot of good stuff to get through today in 3 hours, 256-576-4977. That's how you can join us here on a Tuesday morning. There was NFL playoff football last night. Last wildcard game is in the books. Houston Texans, Pittsburgh Steelers. This one all about the Texans. Houston goes on the road, wins it 30-6 over Pittsburgh. Didn't even allow Pittsburgh to have over 200 yards of offense in the game. And if it is the last time we see Aaron Rodgers in an NFL uniform, his last throw ever will be a pick six. Pittsburgh last 5 playoff losses, all by double digits. First team to do that. 10th consecutive victory for the Texans. They own the NFL's longest active win streak. And last night's win, their first road playoff win in franchise history. They will try to back that up next week in the divisional round as they travel to take on the New England Patriots. That one, by the way, Sunday, 2 p.m. 9 consecutive seasons for the Steelers without a postseason victory. 7 straight playoff losses for Mike Tomlin. He now ties former Cincinnati Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis for the longest postseason losing streak all time among coaches. Texans defense, 4 sacks last night. Rodgers, 17 of 33, 146 yards. The 6 points, by the way, were the fewest that an Aaron Rodgers-led team has ever scored in the postseason. There you go. Your divisional round schedule does look like this for next week, or I should say for this week. On Saturday, 3:30, Bills at the Broncos. Then at 7 o'clock on Saturday, 49ers Seahawks. Then on Sunday at 2 o'clock, Texans and Patriots. And then at 5:30, Rams at Bears. That is your divisional round for next week, next Saturday. 256-576-4977. That's how you can join us here on a Tuesday morning. If you head over to our X page, Twitter page at 977 ESPN, we do have a question up there this morning because we do got a lot of college football conversation to get through. Because coming up in less than a week, we do have the college football national championship game. Miami and Indiana. And it's kind of interesting because I believe there's only 2 college football coaches, active ones, that have national championships. Dabo Swinney and Kirby Smart. Curt Cignetti or Mario Cristobal will join that club in less than a week. So who is right now the best college football coach in college football? Is it still Kirby Smart, who has not gotten to the college national championship game in a couple seasons? Who is it? Is it Curt Cignetti? If you head to our Twitter page, 977 ESPN, we do have a Twitter poll question up there. Who is the best college football coach in the country right now? Just put up a few names. Kirby Smart, Curt Cignetti, Mario Cristobal / Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer. Who is it? in college football right now.
Hell, it ain't Kalen DeBoer.
I know. I just put his name in there. We just put his name in there. But right now, everybody is saying, right now the votes are swaying Curt Cignetti's way.
No, here's the point the poll question should have been. Did you know who Curt Cignetti was 2 years ago?
True.
Answer it truthfully, and please. Did you know who he was at all? And if at least 75% say no, then they're telling the truth. If they say yes, they're lying because they didn't know who the hell he was. They didn't even know he worked for Nick Saban. Hell, I would say 60% of the Alabama fans didn't even know because most of them are millennials, and they think 11-4 you suck. So they never lived through Mike Shula, Mike Price, Mike DeBose. Never lived through any of that stuff. And some of them did, and it's over their heads. So, calling 11-4 completely unacceptable. But what's completely unacceptable is when you can't sign players who commit to you.
Yes,
okay, that's completely unacceptable. Peter Woods is completely unacceptable. But hell, Peter Woods happened under the greatest coach of all time. So there is a common denominator there, and his name's Freddie Roach. His ass should be on the road.
So would you take Kirby Smart so yes, a lot of people probably did not know, and they did not know who Curt Cignetti was until this rise. Yeah. I mean, it is a fast rise because in 2023, you look at Memorial Stadium at the time. I think they've slapped a name on it, but I believe it was Memorial Stadium there in Indianapolis or in Bloomington.
Right.
Shoot, they couldn't even get 10,000 people in there for a home game. I mean, it was a cavernous building. Now people know who Curt Cignetti is, and there is a bunch of people on the train, and it's full now. But is he, because his name is mentioned so much, and Indiana has played so well this year that people want to start putting them in the conversation for top 5 college football teams of all time? Is Curt Cignetti the best coach right now in college football?
Well, I mean, if they finish the drill, they haven't won it yet.
That's what I'm saying. People want to put him there.
I mean, I remember when Sports Center had a show that ended up being infamously stupid. It was infamously,
right,
idiotic and stupid. Because, by the way, it was my statement to a friend of mine, David Reese, he may be listening this morning, was I told them at the time when Pete Carroll went on his run in the early 2000s, I was like, well, they think USC's, the greatest of all time. They've never seen anything done like this.
The Pete Carroll days.
I was like, Nick Saban's fixing to show them what they thought they were watching.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened because they were talking about, because if you remember SC, they won a national championship in I want to say 2003. Then they won a partial one in 2004, something like that, or they won it all in 2004, won a partial in 2003, one of those two. And then they were trying to win an outright in 2005, which would have, in essence, given them 3 in a row, which hadn't been done, I think, since the days of Oklahoma, and Bud Wilkinson. And so they were like, well, this is going to be historic stuff. This may be the greatest dynasty we've ever seen. They're going to kill Texas. When they smoke Texas, we're going to have to consider this the greatest run in the history. Notice how I stopped there.
Right.
Your mouth tried to cash checks that your ass couldn't. So, in other words, Reggie Bush decides to try to lateral in the middle of a frickin' big play, and they did all kind of other stupid stuff. They fumble. They don't convert a 4th down. They leave the door open, and Vince Young. It was one of the greatest football games ever. Okay, let's not get it twisted. I'm not disrespecting Texas here. It was a hell of a game and a hell of a comeback. But USC lost, and then they didn't win another one, and haven't since.
Right.
And
remember the FWA, the Football Writers Association. Remember they stripped USC.
That was after
the 2004 one, right?
Yeah, after that, that's when they found out about Reggie Bush, pre-NIL and all that. Right now, that'd be, hey, this is great. I don't care where you got the rims and the sports car and that your parents are living in some, big time rental house. I mean, and then they stupidly took his Heisman away. Now they've had to give that back.
They've given it back. And by the way, they have also given back, for those that really want to know, they've given back the coach's poll trophy as well. From that 04 season. But anyway, to your point, yes. USC was on the verge of that three-peat, so to speak. Yes.
And Alabama never pulled it off either.
Right.
They pulled off 2 back-to-backs. They won it in 11 and 12, and that was a hell of a run. And then they won 3 out of 4 because they won 09 as well. And then Saban, he nearly did it again. They won 17 and then they won 20. And so it was, it's just really hard to win back-to-back championships.
I think in today's college football landscape, winning back-to-back college football national championships will be harder than trying to even come close to being a three-peat.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's going to be the equivalent because of the landscape, because of the changing players, because of all the guys going to the portal. Your roster's not going to be the same every year. You can't count on guys being there every year.
Well, he did. He won 3 out of 4, and then he won 3 out of 6.
Right. We'll never see that. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Yeah,
ever.
And then in between that, and this is something that USC didn't come close to doing, is, they also lost in the national championship game in 16 and 18. Because as you just stated, after 04, they figured out Will Ferrell was at practice every day. Snoop Dogg was at practice every day. Everybody was getting paid when they shouldn't have been. And Pete Carroll ran too loose a ship. They were throwing people off roofs, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were NIL-ing before NIL-ing.
That's why the Trojan horse, or whatever the hell the 30 for 30 is called, was made.
Yeah.
And so, that's why I kind of laugh when Pete miraculously took off for the Seahawks. They act like, well, he just finally decided he wanted to go to the NFL. Yeah, right.
Yeah, kind of like Jim Harbaugh all of a sudden deciding he just wanted to go back to the NFL.
Wild Stallions! That's what they need to call that.
Wild Stallions rule!
That's what they need to call that 30 for 30, Wild Stallions. Because, hell, we all know that Sharon Moore was a wild stallion of some kind. So
yes, he was.
Not a positive one.
It was hard to keep it in the stable.
When OnlyFans starts becoming an issue too, you're in big trouble, son.
Can't tame that Bronco.
No. So I'm just saying, but it's ironic though. But Saban was able to, and Saban had to navigate things. There was T-Town menswear. There was all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, textbooks.
Yeah, textbook, yeah. Early in his career, the textbook in 07, you had to keep cleaning that stuff up. He off Jonathan Taylor, the off the field stuff when you signed him. So he had to keep it between the ditches, so to speak. And don't forget, he nearly pulled off another back-to-back because they lost when you and I,
went to Georgia.
Thank the Lord.
Froze our asses
off. It was
off.
inside because we could never have sat in the stands in those temperatures.
That walk from the slippery noodle to the car.
Goodness.
From the slippery noodle to the car.
Oh.
One of the just the longest. It's not a very long walk.
No.
It's probably less than 800 yards.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one of the coldest walks of.
But when you got 25-mile-an-hour winds, you were giving the Talent Heating and Air weather update this morning, talking about it felt like 28. It felt like minus 28 that day. I mean, and then we got the manager of our breakfast brunch spot. He's wearing shorts.
Yeah,
shorts.
Oh, well, that was the cafe.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, it was good.
Now, look, I know tomorrow we're going to be at Metro.
Yeah.
But if we could drive to Noblesville, Indiana.
Oh.
Was it Main Street Cafe or something? I forget what it was.
Like
oh, my gosh.
I mean, it was
That's
great.
where we went back there twice.
No, we went there 2 times.
Yeah.
But, they knew your name by the second time.
You had to order the chili dog
I ordered
at 9:30 in the morning.
At a homemade bun.
We're wanting to get on the road to drive home, and you order the chili dogs, and they have to make the bread.
I didn't know that.
And so we have to sit there and wait for the bread to be made.
It was good. I'm telling you. You know what they call a chili dog at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
For all you people, from most of these millennials are not going to remember it. Hell, we're the ones that grew up with it. That's called the Lois Lane. Okay.
Superman.
From the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Yeah.
He's going into diners, throwing people into pinball machines, but she's wanting a damn chili dog at 9:30 in the morning.
We got to get 7:17. We got to get a break in. There's a new clock there in the room, and it's ginormous. And
Is
it's
it
just
really?
bothering me. Yes, it's huge.
Oh, you're looking right at it?
I'm looking right at it.
Right.
It's big. It's like you can't miss it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a break in. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We'll get to phone calls next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the flush.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
More exciting than breakfast and a lot more enjoyable to cook, brunch is ideal for sharing.
Brunch with the Big Dog, the Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays starting at 10 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Say why. Say why. Say why. Say why. Ask them my last dollar on some courage I could buy. 40 ounces of it before you tell me goodbye.
Uptown Cafe. We had to look it up during the break. Uptown Cafe. There's one in Indianapolis, one in Noblesville. That's where you and I we had breakfast We got our breakfast paid for by a customer.
By a good Samaritan.
By a good Samaritan. By a lady, by a lady there
because
that was a resident of Noblesville. She paid for ours. She left Moulton hanging.
Yeah, well, because we were like, can we get the check? And the manager was like, the dude with the shorts.
Yeah.
That's what I call him.
In 28 negative degree weather.
Well, it was, 22 degrees outside, but I don't know what the wind chill factor was, probably 2. But he was like, hey, you guys are good. This lady was really pleased that you would drive all the way down from Indianapolis or to Indianapolis.
From Alabama.
You guys traveled. She found out you traveled. She wanted to know what you guys were doing. And I told her that you guys were a radio station from Alabama. They come all the way down for the game. And she was like, wow. And so she just paid for our meal. So he said it happens a lot. So that was pretty cool.
No, it was a good time. All right, so coming up here in just a few minutes, Tom Brew, who joined us from the airport on his way to Atlanta last week.
He's at home now, so I think he's going to try to do Zoom.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yesterday, both Kurt Signetti and Mario Cristobal did their virtual news conferences to kick off the College Football National Championship. They will travel to Miami. Well, one will travel to Miami later in the week. That be in Indiana.
The other one will just get out of bed.
The other one will roll out of bed and have to take the 30-minute drive or 20-minute drive from Coral Gables to Hard Rock Stadium because it is a little bit of a hike. But anyway, Kurt Signetti yesterday was asked about winning in today's climate of college football. And, hey, you build this roster – here's his response to it.
Football nowadays, you got to win every year. With social media the way it is, the pressure to be successful, you got to put together a team that's ready to compete for championships every single year. So now, the more success you have, the better you're going to recruit from the high school ranks. And those guys will develop, and most of them will redshirt, but some will play as a freshman. We're always going to bring in 20, give or take 1 or 2 high school guys. I think we brought in 23 this year, and some of those guys are ready to help us right away in some capacity. But the portal guys, you're bringing them in because you have a critical need where you have to fill a hole on your football team. So, we've been successful doing it. College football's changed a lot, obviously still changing. You got to adapt, improvise, be light on your feet, if you're going to survive.
It's Kurt Signetti during yesterday's press conference.
Nothing he said is untrue. And I don't know if he's the best coach in college football right now, but he's the hottest.
No, that's yes.
And if he can go ahead and finish it, and especially if they drop another anvil, then I think he would be considered the best. And you would have to consider that's what Indiana's chasing now. They're chasing perfection, which would be the only 16-0 team ever. And then,
in modern era,
no,
Yale way back in like the 1800s.
Oh, good Lord.
That's
okay, but I mean, they didn't have bars on the helmet.
I'm just saying, that's why I prefaced it modern era.
I'm sure Owen has a 1939 tattoo on his shoulder, okay? But who cares?
Just say it.
I mean, Alabama gave themselves the 1941 one, and that's 2 years later, and they claim it, even though it's by far the shakiest. Okay.
Well, yes.
But I mean, come on. And now Auburn claims about 7 of them. Who knows? I mean, if they were given a Hallmark card, they claimed it. But that's their right, though.
No, it is.
There's really no guardrails on it, just like NIL right now. So if somebody gave it to you, or Tommy Tuberville, who may be the governor of this state, he had a parade and he made something up called the People's National Championship. You can give yourself that. I mean, I know.
I know.
I mean, of course, that Alabama didn't give themselves not 2016 after a couple of pick plays. But I mean, hell, the bottom line is Hunter Renfrow. He made the plays.
No.
Clemson was national champion. So it is what it is, though. But I mean, like I said, if they win it, and especially if they win it by double figures.
Yes.
To be the first 16-0 team ever, and we'll ask Tom Brew about this in a few minutes. He's going to join us. Well, then it's not just, they're chasing perfection and trying to become the first Indiana team to ever win a national championship. They're trying to become one of the best teams ever.
Yes.
That's what they're chasing now, with how, they've shellacked Alabama 38-3 and then 56-22 and whatnot. I mean, these are shellackings.
They are.
And now, and to top it all off with this run,
yes,
you're having to do it, against Miami at home on their home field, which enhances it even more.
Well, and ticket prices are just asinine right now.
Jimmy Lay, he sent me a text yesterday, and I'd already seen some little chart or something.
Yeah.
$4,000,
$3,000, $4,000 for nosebleed seats. Not even for.
He was talking about like average.
Yeah, just to get in the door.
He's not talking about being up there with Bad Bunny or something. He's talking about $4,000 just to get in the joint.
Well, Bad Bunny, Steve rolls with Bad Bunny.
Yeah, he knows
he and Bad Bunny are tight. By the way, 1894. That's the Yale team that went 16-0.
Oh.
1894. All right, let's get a break in. Tom Brew's chomping at the bit.
How many football teams back then? Maybe 4?
I don't know. But 1894, Yale went 16-0. They shut out 13 of their 16 opponents.
A couple of them probably Horseshoe Tech, that's not even around anymore, playing in manure.
They beat Trinity, Brown, Crescent Athletic Club.
I told you. I knew it.
Williams, Lehigh, Dartmouth, Orange Athletic Club, Boston Athletic Association, Army, Volunteer Athletic Association, Brown, Tufts, Lehigh, Chicago Athletic Association, Harvard, and Princeton.
You forgot Clements High School. I'm going to give them a shout out. You forgot them.
We got to get a break in. Tom Brew's next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight, early Wednesday morning, mid and upper 40s Wednesday afternoon, under a cloudy sky. At the same time, scattered showers are going to be possible Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and then into the overnight. A couple of snow flurries could also fly through the air across northeast Alabama. Thursday, the sunshine returns. Temperatures cold, only climbing into the 30s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Need tough equipment you can count on? Christopher Equipment has you covered. Whether it's air compressors, trenchers, bucket lifts, concrete tools, generators, skid steers, and more. Serving you with locations in Tullahoma, Shelbyville, Manchester, Fayetteville, and Hazel Green. Christopher Equipment. From job site to backyard, rent or buy, Christopher Equipment delivers the tools you need when you need them. Call 931-455-3900 or visit Christopher.equipment today. Christopher Equipment, powering your project.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Welcome to Kern Electrical, where teamwork powers every project. Our champion sales team takes time to understand your needs, tailoring the perfect Generac generator for your home or business. Our project managers handle all coordination, ensuring a tackle-free installation. Our certified installation crews ensure peace of mind, even in the darkest moments. With our service and maintenance lineups, you can be assured we're with you every step of the way. Experience the home team advantage of Kern Electrical, your Generac superstore.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
Injured in a car accident? Get the help you need. I'm Morris Lilienthal, a personal injury lawyer right here in Huntsville. I've personally helped over 4,000 clients with their injury claims. My firm, Martinson & Beeson, has been helping clients for over 80 years, and we have received over 300 5-star Google reviews. We know that injuries and accidents can be life-changing, and I'm here to help you navigate the entire process. Get in touch with me right now by visiting morristheattorney.com. There's no charge for our meeting. Again, that's morristheattorney.com. I look forward to helping you.
No representation is made. The quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
So I thought, and Tom Brew he knows Indiana history better, like the best of them. And I'm sure he can indulge us even more on this. But remember, if Indiana wins the college football national championship in less than a week,
right,
it'll be 50 years exactly since the men's basketball team went undefeated.
Man, that is crazy, man. That's a good thought there, because my old high school coach, Rich Valavicius, who Tom Brew grew up just down the street from, just nearby. And Gary, Indiana, was a freshman on that team, the only freshman to play. Came off the bench, scored in the national championship game against Michigan. They beat the Crookerines 3 times that year.
They would have the most recent undefeated teams in men's hoops and
crazy,
football.
Man. And that 76 team is still considered by some to be the greatest of all time, even though
that
run. But I mean, 76, they went undefeated, man.
And now we're talking about this could possibly be one of the best college football teams of all time.
And I know UCLA had some undefeated teams, but that 76 Hoosiers team, they beat a really good Alabama team in the round of 16.
Yeah.
That Coach Knight said was the best team I think they'd played all year. So I mean, that would be really cool. Matt, I think you just probably gave Tom Brew, he's probably already got it half written, but you probably
he already knew that. Oh
book,
gosh, he probably knew that a month before we even thought about it.
And now he's going to be joining us right now on our video feed on WZZN TV here, and of course the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. I still call it that too. But Tom Brew from Roundtable Sports, he is at home in the state of Florida, but he will be very soon departing for Miami to cover this historic football game that could make history for the Indiana Hoosiers. And he's joined us throughout the journey, and we wanted to bring him in to preview this national championship game. He's hit it on the head every time. He's given us intel and given us thoughts on the matchups. But, Tom, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. It's great to see you again. Great to chat with you. And certainly it's pretty amazing here that on January the 13th that we're talking about Indiana playing for a national championship and becoming, as you just mentioned, the only school in the history of college sports to have an undefeated football team and an undefeated basketball team. Wow. The only school in the history of college sports to ever do that.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, they would have been, I think, hands down the best team ever if the other freshmen hadn't gone home before the season ever started, and that was some cat named Larry Bird.
Oh,
who was pretty good.
Yeah, he's
That's
average.
what I always try to tell people. The best player wasn't even on, and not disrespecting Scott May and some of these people, but hey, I'm just saying,
right?
Larry Bird,
right? But keep in mind, in the fall of 1974, before that undefeated 1975 season went away, that Scott May was a much better player than Larry Bird.
He was older. Yeah, no.
Scott May broke his arm that year, and he lost to stinking Kentucky in the regionals. They would have been undefeated 75 and 76 both.
Wow.
But I digress, boys, because we need to start with Yale 1980 or 1894.
Thank you.
See, Scott's already been talking about all these.
I heard you guys know the joys of this video concept, guys, is I've been listening to you for 20 minutes. So it's and you know how mean people are on Twitter. I mean, somebody the other day said, well, of course, old, fat, bald Tom Brew would know all about 1894 Yale. But I had to look it up a few weeks back. And with all due respect to the Yale Bulldogs, that year they went 16-0. They only played 10 college teams. They beat some basically like some YMCA teams and some guys that kind of that didn't even have. You said they didn't have helmet bars on their helmets. They didn't have helmets. They played with just with like a leather like garbage bag over their head. But so no, this would be the first legit 16-0 against 16 college teams. But I got to throw in one quick Yale story about that. Fernando Mendoza, who grew up less than a mile from the University of Miami campus, won a state championship in high school, was family friends with Mario Cristobal, had 0 Power 5 offers coming out of college. And he was all set to go to, get this, Yale University. So he goes up to visit at Yale, and he's got no other offers. So he tells them, I'll come to Yale. He's obviously a 4.0 student. He's never had anything but an A in his life. Going to Yale is not a bad option academically. No. And what do they do when he gets there? The first thing they do is take him down to the trophy case and show him the 2 Heisman trophies that Larry Kelly and Clint Frank won in 1936 and 1937. So that's Yale in a nutshell too. And then obviously Cal offered him a scholarship right before he graduated from high school. So he went to Cal instead of Yale, broke the Bulldogs' hearts, and went to Cal and started his journey there. But there's these great Indiana-Yale connections, boys. They're there.
Man, this is nuts. That is so insane. Funny how life works, man, because that's just more for your book.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's insane.
It's going to be a whole chapter now. So.
Well, Tom, I mean, look, before we dissect the Peach Bowl, the matchup itself, I tell you, when Alabama or Auburn or Georgia play in the Peach Bowl, you can count on the fact that whoever they're playing against is not going to have the most there. I mean, Alabama and Auburn, it's a short drive from here. You know it's going to be a home crowd advantage just because it's in Atlanta. I tell you,
they took it over.
Indiana fans took over Mercedes-Benz for that game.
A good friend of mine who was staying in the Oregon team hotel had sent me a picture that morning. He was having breakfast at the Oregon team hotel, and he was the only one there wearing an Oregon shirt. Everybody else in the he was wearing Indiana gear. But Hoosier Nation certainly took over. I mean, there was, obviously we're very excited about this, and so everybody wants to be there. But there were some things that play there. I mean, obviously, Oregon is a long, long way from Atlanta, Georgia, and a lot of Ducks fans had to travel to Miami the week before. Mm-hmm. And of course, in the fan bases I've dealt with through all this run, the nicest and most polite people are from Oregon as well. No disrespect to the team Indiana had played the previous week, but to make that travel again was one thing, but also a lot of them were confident enough that they could beat Indiana and then travel for a second time to Miami. So there was not a lot of Oregon people. We have a ton of Indiana alumni who live in Atlanta and who live in the South, and where that ride was easy. And of course, keep in mind, when you're from the state of Indiana, driving 500 miles is in your DNA, so it's, us Indiana people who grew up with Indianapolis 500, like getting in the car and driving 8 hours to Atlanta is nothing. Like there are people who wake up at 4:00 in the morning in Indiana and want to have lunch with a friend in Atlanta. They'll just get in their car, go have lunch and drive home, so taking over Atlanta was no big deal. But it was a very cool environment. And, obviously Mercedes-Benz Stadium is such a great place. And it was easily 95-5 crowd-wise, and they were loud from the get-go. And of course, it helps when you get a pick six on the first play. That place was just lit up all night long.
Well, and now it's going to be Hard Rock. It's going to be the home field for Miami. Yet, I think I told Scott this the other day. I still expect it at worst to be 50-50.
Oh, it won't even be close, man. And I'm telling you now, because each school gets their right around 20,000 seat allotment, and Indiana people are they're all locked in, ready to go. Miami fans will have theirs, but from as near as I can tell, those other 25,000 seats are up for grabs, and Indiana people are buying up at about a 65% rate, according to some of the ticket sales places. It will be a pro-Indiana crowd there. It won't be 95-5, but if I had to guess, it'll be 60-40, 65-35 Indiana, mostly because, Miami fans, they're Miami fans, so they're going to sell their tickets and make their money. And they're used to playing in half empty stadiums at Hard Rock when they play in there anyway. So
no question.
Yes, they do.
You guys know my Florida State roots. So I've been in that stadium for Florida State Miami games just in the regular season where it's 50-50. So Indiana will, and I already know, like, literally thousands of people from the state of Indiana who are just coming to South Florida for the weekend to party. Even if they can get a ticket, great. But if not, where it will be 95-5 will be in all of the sports bars in South Florida, where Indiana people will be taking over the Buffalo Wild Wings of the world and everywhere else. And Duffy's Sports Bar, shout out to Duffy's in South Florida. But Indiana fans are going to be everywhere across South Florida all weekend long.
Tom Brew, kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, as well as WZZN TV. And Tom, look at this matchup. A lot has been made of the trenches. Miami's size along the offensive line, Indiana's speed may not be as big as Miami's offensive line, but the speed, the quickness. It's an intriguing matchup.
No question. And Miami's offensive line is good. Their defensive line is good too, but Indiana has seen a lot of that in this run. In beating since December 6th, they've beaten Ohio State, which has been a really good team for 2 years along the front in both ways. They've beaten Alabama, which I still think Alabama's offensive line was pretty good, but they just played bad, that day. And their defensive front, has been a bit of an issue all year, but still there. They were good at stopping the run all year, and Indiana gashed them for 2-something. Then Oregon, same thing. Everybody after the fact, when they get beat by 35, they talk about how bad Oregon is. But Oregon's offensive line was pretty decent all year, and their defensive line was very good, and Indiana just controlled them all. So seeing Miami now this week, the Miami fans, of course, Indiana hasn't played anybody. They haven't seen a line like us. Blah blah blah. But they have. Indiana is well seasoned and well prepared for this game, and they'll do their things. And guys, we talked about before the Indiana-Alabama game about the story I had written where I tried to break down Alabama as to what happened in their 3 losses to kind of determine how they get beat. It's the same thing here. I've gone back and watched Miami's loss to SMU, and I've watched their loss to Louisville, and that really good Miami offensive line, they didn't play very well in either one of those games. And, Carson Beck threw 4 interceptions in the one game. He was under pressure the whole time. It's like, I looked at those, and everybody who's a Miami fan will want to completely dismiss that. Like, oh, that was so long ago. It's not that long ago when it's on this calendar, it's on this clock, and they've obviously played very well to close out the season. When they made it into the tournament, I was all for that at the time. I certainly felt they had a better resume than Notre Dame, and they've obviously played very well in the playoffs so far. But, they beat what we talked about a few weeks back. They beat what I thought was a fraud Texas A&M team. Had bullied up on the bottom half of the SEC to get to where they were. And obviously beating Ohio State was a huge win for them on New Year's Eve. And they played great in that game, and I give them full props for that, because Ohio State, in my opinion, it really was the best team in the country all year until Indiana beat them.
And now I think we could argue, because of what Miami did to Ohio State, is this the second best team Indiana would have played, or 1A, 1B, to win the national title?
Well, Miami beat Ohio State, in that one game. So I give them credit and props for them. And it's not a best of 7, so it's best of 1, and Miami was the better team that night. But yeah, I mean, Miami deserves to be in the national championship game. They've played they played 4 really nice games to finish out their season, and then they've played 3 really good games here in the playoffs. And they absolutely belong in the championship game, and good for them. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of speed, and they have, because it's Miami, they have a lot of confidence, arrogance, right now coming into this game, where they feel like they can win. Like they're completely upset about this whole idea of Indiana, not only being a 7.5 point favorite to open, but now the line jumping to 8.5. Everybody's on Indiana, giving them no chance. Now, I think this will be a much closer game than the first 2 Indiana games we've seen. Just the other night, Indiana won by 35 in their first game, and then they really slipped against Oregon, only winning by 34. So it's like it's going to be a tough one here. But no, I do think this. I obviously, when it comes to prediction time, I'm taking the Hoosiers, but I do think it'll be a better, closer game, and and I think Miami will certainly keep them in the mix. But we'll see. I don't see a way for Miami to win this game. I just think it's a team of destiny, and we'll see. But no, they certainly deserve to be there, and they're certainly going to get their shot. And and for Indiana to beat them, what a great way to finish a perfect 16-0 season to win a national championship on the home field of the team you're playing in a stadium just down the road from where your quarterback grew up. I mean, all of that is just way too cool for me.
And
the storylines are just endless.
And saw the national and saw the Heisman trophies and the.
I mean, the storylines are just endless in this thing.
Yeah. Well, even yesterday was like Mario Cristobal and Fernando Mendoza Sr. went to high school together.
Yeah.
Miami Columbus High School. They've known each other forever. And of course, what I'm writing today is, Mario Cristobal, a great college coach and a great evaluator of talent, could have recruited Fernando Mendoza and did not. He did not think he was a college quarterback, and now he's got to try to beat him in a national championship game. And so there's storylines galore. Believe me, it's just trying to find 24 hours in the day to write them all. That's the biggest challenge between now and 7:30 Monday nights.
And then you got Mark Cuban advocating for lower ticket prices for the national championship
I bet he
game.
buys a big chunk of them and gives them away to Indiana folks.
Yeah, well, Mark has a valid point in that when Mark owned the Dallas Mavericks, Dallas hosted the All-Star game one year.
Right.
And the NBA came to him and said, hey, I know you've got 15,000 season ticket holders here, but you can give 7,500 tickets to the All-Star game to your season ticket holders. And Mark Cuban, on his own, called the commissioner back and said, no, we're going to move the game to AT&T Stadium so I can take care of my people. And that's what they did. They moved the game to AT&T Stadium, set up a basketball environment there. I think they had 45,000 people there or something. He took care of his people. And obviously he would love everyone who's ever bought a ticket to an Indiana football game to be able to be here in person for this game. But no, kudos to Mark. He's at least trying to sell the bill. He wish everybody could be there. And of course, I think we all do. That. You guys know how that goes. Like, Alabama's played national championship games. There's been 100,000 people in town for those who didn't have a ticket to the game. It is what it is. And obviously, being the first time ever, there's nothing quite like the first time, boys, and you know that. And so every Indiana fan wants to be there. And even yesterday, just in talking to dear friends of mine, yep, we're coming to South Florida, got a hotel, we don't have tickets, but that is a common storyline this week for everybody. They just want to be there and enjoy the weekend. And I'm not a big fan of this game being on a Monday night, but everybody's looking forward to just having a fun weekend in Miami too.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it. Have almost like an early spring break.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Tom, before we let you go, obviously, I've picked 27-17 Indiana. I think they can win once again by double figures, but I'm like you. I think it's going to be a lot closer, and it's apropos and ironic. They're playing the team that eliminated Ohio State, playing the team that probably matches up with them best on this run. But in your mind, what is it? Is it as simplistic as Indiana just winning it up front and winning this game?
Well, I think even if Miami kind of makes it a little bit more even up front, I certainly think that will be the case. I mean, what people will tend to forget in this game, just talking about all the athletes on Miami, Indiana can match them athletics-wise, especially like Indiana's corners and their safeties. Can lock up with those Miami wide receivers in man or cover three that they play a lot. They can lock them up. Fernando Mendoza is just playing at an unbelievable level right now. And in 2 playoff games, guys, he has 8 touchdown passes and 5 incompletions. That's it. I mean, he's completing nearly 90% of his passes. And like all 3 of his touchdowns in the Alabama game we talked about were like spot on, right in the hands of the guys where only they could catch it. It was the same thing in the Oregon game, just one beautiful throw after another. It didn't matter what it was. If it was, back shoulder throws, out routes, over the middle, down the field to Charlie B from Nashville, Tennessee. And just every throw he's been making for 2 weeks has been literally absolutely perfect. Indiana hasn't made a mistake in 2 weeks. Now, do they make a mistake in this game? Is there going to be a fumble? They've had one all year, one fumble all year. Do they fumble in this game? Is there a tipped ball for a pick? Things like that might even out a little bit. They won by 35, won by 34. I am not picking Indiana to win by 33, but I do think they can score against Miami. To me, I don't think you're far off 27-13 range. I think maybe because of just sort of where they're playing and how they're playing, that maybe Miami can move the ball a little bit early. Oregon, after that pick 6, went right down the field and scored on Indiana. Miami might be able to do that too. I'm kind of holding out for the moment, but I think Indiana will score against them. I'm thinking like 31-17, something like that, 31-20 maybe at the most.
Oh, great stuff, Tom. Let everybody know how to follow you. We're definitely going to be following your coverage on Roundtable Sports. But we always appreciate the time, man, and what a historic, run and time it is for Indiana football.
Yes, it is. You can follow me on Twitter stuff. Every story I post with Roundtable Sports, it all winds up on Twitter at Tom Brew Sports. And we have our national homepage there, our college homepage there, and of course, I still run our Indiana team site there as well. So it's all there. And then obviously, we just a shout out to my dear friend Shandell Richardson, who runs our Miami site. They do a great job too, and so our Miami team site on Roundtable Sports certainly worth a really good follow this week too.
Thank you.
Let's get that break in. Yeah, I know. Talking Ball returns.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's been neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, just about done with our number 1 here on Talking Ball. Coming up here in just a minute, Alex Donno will join the show. Just had Tom Brew on, talked a little Indiana football. But the Canes are at home for the national championship game. First time we've ever gotten to say that for a college football program. At home for the national championship game is Miami. And remember, was it 2 years ago we were laughing at the Canes because They were having to bus in students, and nobody got on the bus to come watch them play at home.
They look like manure.
And now they are on a quest to win that national championship. All right.
Yep.
Alex going to join us next. Hour 2. Get started right after this.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama Crimson Tide 7.5-point road favorites at Mississippi State today. 171.5 the total at the Humphrey Coliseum. Elsewhere in SEC play, it's Texas A&M, a 9.5-point dog at Tennessee. 158.5 the total at the Food City Center in Knoxville, where the Vols are 9-0. Also in the SEC today, Florida Gators 5.5-point favorites at Oklahoma. 153.5 the total at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. College football playoff championship game coming up on Monday. Indiana bet up to an 8.5-point favorite over Miami. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer's satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you go. Hour 2. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives, helping us get you ready for hour number 2. SportsMedAlabama.com. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, 256-881-5151. If you want to experience the SportsMed difference, give them a call today. Find them online, SportsMedAlabama.com. We wrapped up hour 1. I shouldn't say wrapped up hour 1, but in hour 1, we talked to Tom Brew, who gave us some great insight to the Indiana Hoosiers as they are preparing to take on the Miami Hurricanes there at Hard Rock Stadium. Just a little bit south of campus there in Coral Gables, or I should say from Coral Gables. It's Hard Rock Stadium. But anyway.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah, Miami at home for the college football playoff national championship game. First time we've ever gotten to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, you look at Miami's run, and while, I mean, it's been impressive.
It has.
From where they were in the regular season to where they are now, it's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, their run has been spectacular because, look, they haven't been at home since November the 15th. So their entire playoff run, you could say, is like a wild card run in the NFL. I mean, they had to go to Texas A&M. They were an underdog. I didn't pick them to win that game, and they won. I didn't pick them to beat Ohio State. I thought Ohio State would beat them soundly, and they whipped Ohio State all over the field. And then it was a classic with Ole Miss, and now they're on their home field playing against a team that's playing for history.
Right.
And, you know, Miami's been on the other end of that because I think they would have been on the short list of greatest teams ever in '86, but they lost to Penn State and Shane Conlon. Could it reverse itself? Could they play their best game? And if they did, and if they won it, it would be one of the greatest postseason runs ever. And definitely, I think, the greatest in college football playoff history, where we've had a 2-team BCS, a 4-team playoff, and now this 12-team playoff, and it's probably going to expand again. But this would be a historic run for the Canes and Mario Cristobal. And who better than to help us with that is Alex Donno. He was on the show last week, did a great job. He hosts Locked On Canes each and every day, also Locked On ACC, and he does post-game on the Hurricane Radio Network, and he's joining us right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Alex, good morning. You're with Drew and Scott in Huntsville, Alabama. How are you?
Good morning, and that was a really good breakdown. It's been, you know, a magical postseason for Miami to this point. You know, what happens when you're the final at large, getting in as the 10 seed, you get yourself a gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
Having to go on the road to Texas A&M, then having to take on the defending champs, and then, you know, taking on the last team standing in the SEC. And in terms of Miami getting to this point, you know, I know they've played and won 3 playoff games, but you can kind of say they've been in playoff mode for the past 7 games because they knew in their final 4 of the regular season, there was no margin for error. They had to win all of their last 4 games, with the last 2 of those being on the road, in order to even get to this point. So this team has basically been in playoff mode for about 2 months already.
Yeah.
Well, then break us down from the Fiesta Bowl then. Take us back to the Fiesta Bowl.
Hell of a game.
Yeah. What impressed you the most? Because, I mean, it looks to me that Miami has done each of these games in different ways. The Texas A&M game was, I mean, points were just hard to come by in that one. You had to win it with the defense, but then you get to Ohio State, and the defense was very impressive in the Ohio State game. But then you get, it seems like it's been a different way and a different style every playoff game.
Yeah, you know, I thought overall Miami's defense did, you know, a really good job against, you know, up to that point, the most prolific offense they'd faced all year against Ole Miss. And like, I guess one of the things that impressed me about that Fiesta Bowl win was turning a negative into a positive. Miami missed a lot of opportunities in that game. I mean, they essentially had 4 dropped interceptions in that game, which was, you know, I guess to even get into that position was something, because Trinidad Chambliss had only thrown 3 interceptions all year, and then Miami drops 4 of them in the game, which is Miami did in certain ways when it came to all the penalties committed and all of the dropped INTs. It's like Miami kind of gave, and not to take anything away from Ole Miss, because Ole Miss had to take these opportunities and earn opportunities of their own, but Miami gave Ole Miss a lot of opportunities to stay into the game, despite the fact that Miami had nearly 41 and a half minutes of time of possession. It still came down to a final drive. And then on that final drive, I mean, heck, I think the guy that impressed me and a lot of people the most was Carson Beck. I mean, so many detractors he's had, so many doubts about how he would handle a situation just like that. put the ball in his hands down 3 points with a chance to win, one of the biggest games he's ever played in. And he came up big in that final scoring drive, ultimately the game-winning drive for Miami. They go 75 yards in 15 plays. They had to convert 4 third downs on that drive. And then ultimately Beck, who's, not much of a runner, takes it in from 3 yards out with his legs. I mean, it was clutch. I thought it was a career-defining drive for him. And he's raised his stock quite a bit. I don't know exactly what it's going to mean for his NFL draft stock, but in terms of like his stock as a college football quarterback, I thought that was a defining drive for him. And it, certainly gives Miami fans a lot of things to talk about heading into, the toughest game they've played yet in Indiana.
And then here's the crazy part is we had Tom Brew on from the Indiana perspective right before you. But Alex, I'm sure it's a topic of conversation on Locked On Canes and all the radio hits you're doing this week. But it's the connection between Mario Cristobal and the Mendoza family, playing with his father in high school. I believe that's correct. They were teammates, and knowing the family so well, that's another just really, really interesting plot twist. And of course, for Fernando playing at Christopher Columbus High School, winning a state championship just a couple of minutes down the road.
And Fernando he's an incredible story because, you would never know it given that he just won a Heisman Trophy and his team is 15-0. But, when he was coming out of high school at Miami Columbus, like he wasn't much of a big time college prospect. Like he was initially committed to go to Yale. Which,
that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
How smart. Yeah. And he ends up at Cal and it's like, so I follow recruiting somewhat closely in South Florida, and I don't remember I remember the name Fernando Mendoza, but I don't remember him being a very talked about guy. And look where he is now. And then he obviously certainly has the respect of Mario Cristobal, and Miami's faced Mendoza before, very different situation. He was at Cal last year, and Miami won a thriller out west at I
remember that comeback. That was an insane comeback, right?
Yeah. So I guess I guess Miami has an idea of how Mendoza plays, but he's obviously on such a better team, and I think he's gotten better now. But it's definitely, I would guarantee you, Mendoza, he's got a lot of certainly support from his high school, Columbus, and I'm sure he has a lot of extended family down in South Florida. So there's going to be a lot of Indiana fans there, no matter what. But I'm sure the Mendoza specific cheering section is going to be quite large.
We had Tom Brew on a little bit ago, and he was telling us just how big this is for Indiana fans, that, they're going to travel. They're going to find some way to get to this national championship game because it's big for them. And, they're all the run. Mario touched on it a little bit yesterday. Mario Cristobal touched on it a little bit yesterday, what it means for Miami fans. Ultimately, what does this playing at home, playing in the backyard, back in the national title game, what does it ultimately mean for the Miami fan base?
It means everything, and it feels a little bit like a dream. I know some people would say, hey, Miami, should feel like they're playing with house money because they barely got into the playoff, and they obviously didn't have the type of year that Indiana's had, where they've been sort of on national championship watch, going back earlier than Miami was. But I don't think anyone's thinking about it that way. I think once you get to this point, you want to win the whole thing. And, I think for Miami, a little bit of muscle memory kicks in for the Miami fans. I mean, I guess any of the fans out there who are college age or younger are not old enough to remember when Miami used to win national championships. But for those that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s and up, it kind of reminds you of the old days, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, when Miami used to be in these conversations every single year. And, you mentioned Mario Cristobal. He played on 2 national championship teams at Miami in 89 and 91. He was very close to the program at various times later on. So I know this means everything to him to bring the standard back to that point. I know for a lot of Miami fans, there's just been the scramble to try to get tickets. I mean, the secondary market, it's like 3,000 and up for tickets. Everyone wants to be at this game or a part of this game. It's become basically a Super Bowl type of ticket for how hot this one is. But yeah, I mean, Miami and Indiana, not the exact same situation, because for Indiana, this is completely uncharted territory. But for Miami, it's territory that they haven't been in over 2 decades. And I think people are not lost on how appreciative they are for Miami to be back into this point and to get to do it in your hometown and home stadium.
Well, and Alex, one of the biggest storylines, and Mario was very outspoken about it when they outlasted the Ole Miss Rebels 31-27 in a heck of a college football game. But it was a battle of attrition. Miami was down 2 corners by the end of the game. He talked about there was a flu bug or a virus going through the team. They were depleted tremendously by the end of the football game. How healthy are they going to be come Monday night when they're going to need all hands on deck against Indiana?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the flu thing, because I thought that was a pretty cool story. I know that one of the players that was apparently most affected by it was Mark Fletcher, the starting running back, who he had 130 plus yards. He had a great game despite playing through the flu. So, it was supposedly 20 some guys who were affected by it. So you would imagine with a week and a half between games, that the immune systems have probably kicked in by now, and certainly will kick in before that. So as far as the flu thing, I hope they're past that. But yeah, it was a physical game, and some players left the game. Some players got banged up. Cristobal had some updates on the injuries on Monday. So starting corner OJ Frederic, who left the game, he's good to go. He left the Ole Miss game. He's going to be good to go for this one, which is good news. Starting defensive end Akeem Mesidor banged up his elbow in the game. He's good to go, which, it's tremendous. I mean, Miami needs the full combination of Bain and Mesidor. Be very, very tough to hang with Indiana without Mesidor healthy. And defensive tackle Ahmad Moten should be good. Another issue that I doubt anything positive is going to come here, but another starting cornerback, Xavier Lucas, is facing a suspension for the first half of the game from a targeting call. And it was, a lot of folks thought it was a questionable targeting. My understanding is Miami did appeal the call, but it very rarely do targeting suspensions get overturned. I think it's only happened 2 or 3 times in the history of the targeting penalty. So, I mean, Miami would love for Lucas to be able to play the first half, but as things stand, he's suspended for the first half of the Indiana game. Miami's got another rotational cornerback, Damari Brown, who hasn't played for the entire playoffs yet, recovering from an injury. He's listed as day-to-day. And then the last one is starting tight end Elijah Lofton, who caught a first down and got his bell rung in the Ole Miss game. He's listed day-to-day. Now, the other tight end, Alex Bauman, plays a lot anyway, so he would just probably increase his rep total if Lofton can't go. But we'll get further updates on Lofton in the next 6 days. I'm not sure. I think it's a rib issue for him. I think he got his ribs hit pretty good on a hit he took.
How does Miami use their size along the offensive line to slow down Indiana's quickness along the defensive line?
Well, they lean on you throughout the game, and they try to wear you down. And I look at and of course Miami's big guys on the O line, like they've got their biggest player Markel Bell, 6'9", the starting left tackle. He's about 345. Like they also move very well, which is I think what kind of sets this out is one of the better offensive lines Miami has ever had. Is that not only do they have mass, but these guys are also really, really mobile and fit. So they're gonna try to do to Indiana what they've done to most teams they face this year, and that's really lean on them and wear them down. And obviously, this is going to be the toughest task yet. But something I have been talking about for what it's worth this week, I've been talking about the size difference, where Indiana's defensive line averages out to be 278 pounds. Miami's offensive line averages out to be around 331 pounds. So they're going to try to use that as an advantage, just the sheer mass and the strength that those guys have up front, because it's something they've been successful with. Indiana only gives up like 72, 73 rushing yards per game, which is insane. Miami's rushed really, really well during the playoffs, and they're hoping that trend does not end next Monday.
And that goes right into it. If Miami pulls off what would be considered an upset, and I still say one of the great playoff runs ever, because they've basically been an underdog in nearly every game. I know they were a slight favorite against Ole Miss, but there was a lot of people that still like the Rebels. And I know they're embracing this underdog role, but what must the Canes do if they're going to upset Indiana and stop their historic run?
Well, the first thing, and this is general, both sides of the football, but you can't beat yourself, because Indiana won't do that. Indiana won't beat themselves. It's like, again, Miami made a lot of mistakes against Ole Miss that they can't afford to make against Indiana. The Hoosiers are just too sound. They've only turned the ball over 8 times all year long, so they're not going to give you that many opportunities. So Miami's got to take care of the football, and they've got to keep the penalties down. I think that right there, because obviously Miami physically can match up with anybody when it comes to trenches and strength versus strength, but you can't be sloppy as they've been at times this year. I talked about trying to establish a running game. Again, Indiana gives up, I think, fewer than 75 rushing yards per game. I think Miami's got to be 100-plus team rushing yards, or at least close to that in this one. You've got to be able to affect Mendoza with your pass rush. I mean, I know Cignetti and his staff are going to have a great plan, as they always do. But Mendoza, I was looking at his average time to throw, and he holds onto the football for 3.30 seconds on average. Miami's pass rush usually gets home in 2.5 or less. So that's going to be either an opportunity for Miami or an adjustment Indiana has to make. But the pass rush has got to be there. And then, I think you're going to need a little bit of magic from Carson Beck. He's going to have a good game, as will a receiver like Malachi Toney, who's been, one of Miami's stars this year. So it's a lot. It's daunting. I mean, bottom line, I think Miami has to play their best game of the year to get it done. Are they capable of it? Yes. Will it happen? That's yet to be determined.
Well, Alex, great stuff. Great preview from a Cane perspective. Let everybody know how to follow your coverage of this national championship matchup, and, of course, all the work you do on the Locked On Network.
Well, I appreciate you guys so much. It's always a good time being on with you. Yeah, you can look for Locked On Canes on any podcasting platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Also search Locked On Canes on YouTube. I also co-host Locked On ACC. So you can imagine we've been talking a lot about this game on that platform as well. And yeah, those are the spots: Locked On Canes, Locked On ACC, and hopefully, maybe after the game, if Miami can pull it off, I'll be back on with you.
Absolutely, we can count on that. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks.
Let's get a break in. 256-576-4977. You can join us after this.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
What's better than 2 End Zone sports bars? 3 End Zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the End Zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite, or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99 and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99 or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
The Rich Eisen Show. When I said back in the middle of December that we would miss the Kansas City Chiefs being in the playoffs, did you notice I had my finger on that chess piece this entire time for a month? I'm off on that one.
Man, I was hoping you weren't going to say anything because I was going to do this on Overreaction Monday on a Tuesday. We don't miss them at all.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, yeah. Wrong about that one.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
This is Jerome from Birmingham, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Let's check in with Andre in the ATL. Hello, Andre. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's going on, Coach Feinbaum? Sound like you're a little bit under the weather cheering for them Ole Miss Rebels from Oxford, Mississippi, Coach. Is that true?
Had a little bit too much hotty-toddy last night out in Phoenix.
The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Just take those old records on the shelf.
So, going over the last 2 conversations we had, one from the Indiana sidelines, one from the Miami sidelines. It still brings you back to if Indiana completes the run, would you take the Indiana team of 2025-26 or whatever you want to call it, the LSU team of 2019 or the Alabama team of 2020? As the best teams in the last couple decades to win the national championship? Which one of those 3?
That's tough.
The Alabama 2020, LSU 2019, or Indiana of this year?
I don't think the Alabama team in 2020 gets enough credit, only because of Dr. Dumbass and, Biden and the rest of them, because of the way they tried to ruin college football that year.
And the way they dismantled Ohio. I mean, they made Ohio State look like.
Yeah, it was. And don't forget, the thing is, it probably could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But Smitty missed most of the second half with an injury. All right. Because he had about over 200 yards receiving in really just a little over 2 quarters. So I think that 2020 Alabama team was every bit as good as that LSU team. I really do.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Jalen Waddle got hurt about halfway through the season and didn't even finish the year. If he had, there'd be even more talk about that.
Right.
So I think both of them were better offensively than this Indiana team, even though I understand how they can run the ball and how good Mendoza's been. Now,
but the explosiveness of both of those teams, I think, is better than Indiana.
Their defense is better than both that LSU and Alabama group. Personally, I would take both of the Alabama and LSU teams over this Indiana team. I think they're a little more explosive.
Okay.
But certainly I think Indiana, and I think both of those teams should be on the short list for in the top 10 for best teams ever.
Yeah,
this Indiana team is going to join that conversation if they finish the drill. If they don't finish the drill, they're going to be on a list they don't want to be on. They're going to be like 2016 Alabama, one of the best teams you ever saw, but they didn't finish the drill.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Let's slip in. Let's see here. Bama Big Rick. Let's get Bama Big Rick on real fast.
What's up, Big Rick?
Good morning, guys. I'm going to end this argument with 1 point.
Yes, sir.
That 2020 team is the only team in history, and I may be wrong, and will be correct if I am, to play a complete SEC schedule.
That's true. That's the other point. That's a good point, Big Rick. Yep.
That ends the argument. No, 2019 did not do it. IU did not do it. And look at this thing here. We're talking IU, right? Look at their regular season schedule. Okay, they play some people in the playoffs. Now, look at that. So that makes a big difference. You're not beat up during the year. To me, it makes a big, big difference.
Yeah, and Rick, I know the stadiums weren't full that year, but it wouldn't have mattered. It would have just meant more drunk people going home with an ass whipping for that Alabama team.
5 players on that 2020 team were unanimous All-Americans.
Yeah.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Rick.
You go back more to that 2020 Alabama team. 2 were Heisman Trophy finalists.
Well, 3 of the top 5, I believe, because don't forget, I think Najee finished 5th.
Right.
Because
finalists, right, did not get invited to New York.
I don't think Najee
2 got invited to New York that year.
Which was Smitty and Mac Jones.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, the most explosive player of all of them, and I'm not disrespecting Smitty, he was the best all-around player, but Jalen Waddle, nobody was as explosive as Jalen Waddle. And so I don't give a damn what some corn dog tells me. That Alabama team was as good or better than that LSU team. I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
Whatever some corn dog tells you.
Because if they didn't have a horseshoe up their ass when they played in Tuscaloosa with Alabama turning the ball over and then miraculously Burrow throws a pick, but there's a penalty on Alabama. Well, then, maybe Alabama wins that game. So it was LSU. It wasn't a beat down in Tuscaloosa. I can tell you that. They escaped.
Bama Bino joining us on the phone lines this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hey, this is Bama Bino. I didn't know I was on there.
Well, you are.
You are now, buddy.
You are. It's early. It's early.
I'm gonna say 19 and 20, and I'm gonna draw it out, and you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go back to the Mississippi State game in 19. Tua should have come out before halftime, and he wouldn't have been there to get hurt.
Right.
Number one, the coaching staff had him slated to come out and act to go in, like by the book. Most coaches would pull, any halftime there had 35-7. Well, Tua lobby, you could see him on film lobbying the coaches to work on the 2-minute offense, and he goes to one coach, then he goes to Coach Saban, and I think he tells the OC that he said it's okay. So it's sort of like going to mom and asking daddy if you can get some candy, and you got to go ask your dad. Okay, dad said I could, but he really didn't, But anyway, so if Tua hadn't got injured, you remember the first of the game, we drive the ball down against LSU in Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny. Trump's there. Everybody's watching. We're fixing to score. And Tua's running the ball, and he tries to change hands with the ball, and that's his injured side. If he didn't have an injured side, he keeps the ball and he scores, or either we keep the ball in possession and eventually score. So we don't score then. If he didn't get in, that injury during the Mississippi State game affected that LSU game is what I'm saying. And there's no way you can look at it any different now. Should a player come out, does that matter? Yeah, well, I just don't think he should have been in there, whether he either way, he got hurt. That affected. If we had beat LSU that year, they wouldn't have been undefeated. We would have. And, that changes things. We're in the national championship game.
Well, Ben, I have to slightly correct you, and I love you, but I was at the Alabama LSU game and it was one of the most electric crowds. I was actually out on the photo deck because it was so packed. I was on the end of it, but the LSU game was before the Mississippi State game. The injury to Tua happened the week before the Iron Bowl. Yes, sir. Positive. I was watching it on TV, and Tua.
Maybe he got injured a little before that. Then.
Yeah, he
did he get injured before that?
Not that year. In 2018, he got hurt against the Tennessee Volunteers, and I believe, and had to have a tightrope surgery on his ankle. But again, and trust me, he had his injury, issues. But
he was favoring that side. I may be wrong on.
He was always banged up, man, because that was Tua's biggest issue. You know what I'm saying? And
because he trusted the blind side. He never felt pressure, and he just trusted everything. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't never look for pressure, and he got clobbered so much.
And let me correct myself. He got hurt in the Georgia game in 2018. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts came off the bench and did it. And then he was healthy enough for the playoffs after that. He actually did have to have the tightrope surgery against Tennessee earlier in the season. So that was where he was a little bit banged up before they played LSU. Then he had the hip dislocation before the Iron Bowl against Mississippi State. So I had to sit there because there were so many injuries. You have to go back and think about it. But he the most severe was the one you're talking about against Mississippi State. But the Mississippi State game was back in those days, was always late in the year. And it was in Starkville. You're right. Alabama was nuking Mississippi State.
Okay,
he should have come out, and they were going to take him out, but they decided to put him in for one more drive. And then he suffered the injury. And then Mac Jones played in that Iron Bowl.
They wanted to work on the 2-minute offense.
Right. That's right, Bambino.
Bud.
So I was wrong on sequence, but he always, one quick thing, he never squared up to the line of scrimmage and to where he had peripheral to the right or left. He always faced the left, and then swiveled his head. And he never saw that other blind side. But anyway, I stand corrected. But anyway, I just think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think that affected things of him being injured a little before that, but it might not have been a Mississippi State game. But anyway, that was a heck of a team.
It was.
We could throw the ball north and south and deep and short and everywhere else. We could run the ball. When you can run it, you can throw it. And like Indiana can do. And I dream of those days where we got an offensive line. 3 point something, 5 or 8 seconds is what Mendoza has time to throw. Yep. That's unheard of.
Yes, sir.
Bub.
Good to hear from you guys, and I stand corrected on that. But anyway.
No problem, Bambino.
Thanks, Bambino, for the phone call. 8:34, we got to get a break in. Jake, I know you've tried, and we're going to get you as soon as we get back from break. I promise, Jake. Hold on, buddy. We're coming for you.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures quite nice from early January. We're climbing into the mid and upper 50s, dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. A couple of snow flurries could also fly through the air across northeast Alabama. Cloudy sky for your Wednesday. Scattered showers are going to be possible through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 40s. Sunshine returns on Thursday.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The College Football Playoff National Championship. Let's go! The magical run by the 10th-ranked Miami Hurricanes continues.
There's no bad play, no bad call, no injury that we can't overcome.
When they faced a top-ranked and undefeated Indiana Hoosiers.
All I can say is go IU!
Number
ranked in Miami versus number 1 Indiana. Coverage begins Monday at 6:30 Eastern with kickoff at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure.
Steppenwolf.
And whatever comes our way.
As we return here on a Tuesday morning, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 8:39. Still cold as crap outside. That's not going to change. 37 degrees right now, though. It's 37. We're warming up. We're warming up only to get cold again. Next Tuesday, by the way, I don't know if you've seen this, but the low is 16 degrees. We could have snow flurries at some point next week.
Well, got to go buy some alcohol. Not to drink.
I was going to say, you going to lock up in Casa de Armin and drink?
No, hell no. I mean,
some people think you drink before you come in anyway.
You know,
so
they probably they can't believe I'm sober, I guess. I've had people tell me that watching a football game with me.
Let's go out to the phone lines real fast. Let's slip in Jake this morning. Good morning, Jake.
Morning, Jake.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Doing good, buddy.
Well, y'all know I love my Alabama, but you know the 2009 team to me was the best team ever. You know, we were undefeated. You know, we closed the regular season undefeated. We're like 8-0, whatever in the SEC. Man, that year I think we had 6 All-Americans that year. Scott,
2009.
Yes, sir.
The first Heisman winner in Mark Ingram.
Yeah, exactly. We won our first Heisman that year. We beat Texas in the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was really our first one since Gene Stallings, you know.
Yeah, they had 6 players named first team All-American by the AP. Mark Ingram, Rolando McClain,
Johnson,
Terrence Cody, Mike. Yep. And you want to try for the last one?
Well, that was 4.
So Mark Ingram, Rolando McClain, Terrence Cody, Mike Johnson, Javier Arenas, and we got one more. You want to take a stab at the last one?
Rolando McClain.
Already mentioned him.
Yeah.
So Rolando McClain, Terrence Cody, Mike Johnson, Javier Arenas, Mark Ingram. Nope.
I know who it is.
Mark Ingram, Rolando McClain.
At least I think I do.
There's a lot of Alabama fans that would love to have had him this year early in the season.
Yeah. Lee Tiffin.
He would not have gotten booed.
He should have won the Groza. It pissed me off.
Right.
Yes, Lee
He
Tiffin.
was in the top 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year that year. He really did, especially after all the fans buried him after his freshman year when his stupid head coach kept walking him out there against Arkansas, even though he was having a bad day. Quarterback was hot. Receivers were hot. But no, let's not throw the ball. Let's just center it in the middle of the field and try to kick a field goal. Otherwise, Arkansas still wouldn't have beat Alabama since the cows came home. It's really stupid.
To me, that year, the team was so good, Drew, because, we every aspect of the game was covered with, like, superstar. You had Rolando McClain and Javier Arenas on special teams. We had Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson. Oh, what a problem to have there.
Well, we can sure as hell use Javi right now returning the damn ball.
Yes, sir. But what do y'all think about that being one of the best teams ever?
Yeah, because you had Julio Jones and you had Dante Hightower was a freshman that year.
Well, and
we were so loaded. It was just we beat. I think it was Florida, Texas, LSU.
Well, here's the problem: Hightower went down early, and he came back in 2010, but he still wasn't himself until 2011. Hightower got hurt.
It was his knee, wasn't it?
Yeah. He had a severe knee injury, and so he was not around, that team for the majority. I think Nico Johnson kind of picked up the slack. Was a really good player out of Andalusia, and Alabama had a lot of depth back in those days. And, and then we had someone text in, and I'm not taking anything away from this Indiana team. They're going to go down as one of the greatest ever, but it is a different era. And right now, their average age, everybody's already talked about it, it's 22 years old.
Yeah, they're older.
But
they're older.
They're an older team than the normal college teams have been. This era, it's older grown men right now.
What I was going to ask you, one thing before, just on a different topic. Do y'all think recruiting is just gonna kind of die? Like you're
seeing it in different forms. You're seeing it in different forms. Transfer portal, you got to recruit. You're just seeing it in different forms right now. It's never going to die.
No.
It's just going to morph into other looks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I'm saying is, why take a freshman and go through all that effort of sitting in living rooms and doing this and doing that and all that time, those flights back and forth? If you could just wait and 2 years later let him develop a little bit, let somebody else train him, and then get him, in the portal.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Coach is going to go towards, man. Really,
it's a good point.
Alabama missed out on Ty Haywood last year. They got a commitment from him yesterday after he went in the portal from Michigan. Now the Michigan side says he wasn't good enough. We'll see if Alabama can develop him, but Alabama's got to make some coaching changes of their own if they want to keep everybody off Greyhound.
All right, Jake.
Thank you, man.
Good day, fellas.
Thanks. Let's get in Johnny on the cell real fast.
Johnny, welcome
Good morning,
back,
Johnny.
What's up?
Hey, guys.
Yes, how you doing, man?
So, I'm grumpy as everybody else is at this point in time. We're sitting around watching freaking Indiana, which I'm hoping like hell Miami beats the crap out of them. Signetti is the biggest prick I've ever seen in my life, and I hope they knock the scowl off his face. And you know what? Miami plays a physical brand of football, too, and I would not – it doesn't shock me if Miami pulls the upset. It's a home game for Miami.
It is,
but I think Indiana's going to burn the house down.
They probably will, but you got an 8-year quarterback in Carson Beck. Gus's Mendoza. You got plenty of talent. You got a freshman Tony who can make Indiana worry a little bit. Look, Indiana's been playing great in the playoffs, but that same team is still capable of a game like Penn State.
True that.
If they don't play the A game, Miami can punch them in the mouth back blow to blow. So I'm pulling for a Cristobal win versus a Signetti win. And, the transfer portal is definitely – and the thing that's bugging me is that our offensive line schedule for next year, as I look at it today, as it's shaped, 5 sophomore-age players as starters.
Yeah. Alabama's got some work to do.
There is no way in Hades that 5 sophomores are going to make enough. I mean, I love our skill players coming back. I like our defense coming back, but 5 sophomore offensive linemen will not cut it in any part of the NCAA. Hell, I don't think they could win in the Big 12 with 5 sophomores playing starters.
Not with who they're being coached by right now. Drink if you are scared to death of that.
I mean,
he's about out of drink.
Yeah, damn it, I got to go get some water.
Yeah, and the thing is, Indiana reloaded again.
Yeah.
And so the portal is definitely a new game, and the previous callers got it a little bit. I mean, if you can get a kid that's a 5-star like Crowell is coming out of, and you can get that kid, you take that kid.
Right.
But these 4-stars and these 3-stars that you're going to have to develop before they get on the field, I'd say spend your money in the portal and be like, this is a model that's got to change.
Let somebody else develop them, and then you just buy them after they're developed.
Well, that's the way it is right now. That's what Texas is doing.
Yep.
That's where the game's being played now.
Yep.
And Alabama has got to up its. Quite frankly, they got to open. Alabama's got to raise more money. That's just not. It's just not going to. And because what happens, the House versus the NCAA gave you a $25 million bank.
Yes.
That's your base. What Alabama makes on top of that is where you go out and get your talent. Because everybody's got the 25 mil. So what you can, if Alabama can go out and raise $15 million, then you got a $40 million pool of money to go get your talent from. And that's what Indiana's doing. That's what, all these schools that are Texas Tech, all these schools that are being successful in the portal era, Ole Miss, heck, they just got Deuce Knight. I mean, I love the fact that Kiffin is crying for a quarterback right now. I just think it's awesome that he left the school he could have won a title with to go chasing one, and I hope he never comes close to sniffing one at LSU.
Well, he did get Sam
Johnny on the cell.
Levitt
Thanks for the phone call as well.
And he got Levitt from Arizona State. If he's healthy, he might be the best one out there. Some had him the number 1 ranked portal QB, but you know who was 60th quarterback last year?
Chambliss?
Yes. Maybe the best one I saw all year, Trinidad. So you never know how these guys are going to mesh, how they're going to play. Do I hope LSU falls short every year? You damn right.
Now, the one thing Johnny on his cell did say is that, Alabama has 25. These schools got 25 million. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, that 25 million kind of gets divided between all of the sports.
20.5 million rev share. And yes, it is divided.
It's divided. I think Alabama basketball gets like a 2 million of that 25 million or 3 million of that like 25.
But that isn't all their NIL. Because that was a question yesterday about Alabama, and then Jeff Goodman said he didn't think Alabama this year was among the top 25 in NIL.
In basketball.
They were heavier last year. It's not going to be as consistent because, look, Kentucky thought they fell short last year, so they went out and bought a $22 million roster that's as flawed as any. Now, they did finally win an SEC game the other day.
Yes, they did.
Against the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who Alabama faces tonight.
Yes, they do.
But I mean, they've also, lost their point guard yesterday. His shoulder finally gave out. He's going to have surgery, and he's going to be out for the year. So, again, I believe it's Jaden White who is having the surgery. I saw him play, a really quick kid. They'd gotten him in the portal, so they're going to have to – and many people thought he was the engine that drove them. Now they're going to have to play without him, and maybe it'll be a blessing. I don't know. Maybe they'll finally get aligned and play – like Kentucky is supposed to play.
All right, we got to get a break in. Oh, by the way, today is the day in 2020. We've been mentioning them.
Yeah.
that LSU did win that national championship with Joe Burrow. The undefeated national championship team, Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow. Today was the day that LSU won that national championship that we've been talking about in, would you put them in the era of Indiana and Alabama of 2020? This was the day that LSU did capture that national title with one of the best coaches of all time, Ed Orgeron.
Well, hell, that's just right. You can't have them be the best team ever in history, for God's sake.
Come get you a Hummer. Get you a Hummer.
Oh, my God.
Gotta get, come on down, get you a Hummer. Oh, we haven't played that in a while. Let's get a break in, wrap up hour one next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, let's slip in a phone call, shall we? Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Judy Arman. Be Rich with us on a cold Tuesday morning.
I'll apologize to the band Jeff. I'm sorry. It was Jalen Lowe. Sorry about that. He's still out for the year, and Kentucky still sucks.
Yes, they do, fellas. Yes, they do. Hey, I just wanted to call. Johnny brought up a great point.
Yeah.
He said the website is www.yay-alabama.com.
Yeah.
And I've said this a long time. I love Alabama. I probably can't stand at least 75% of our fan base. This is just a fan base that loves to thump our chest about national championships and the standard and this and that. But a very small percentage of our fan base has actually joined this collective has actually put their money where their mouth is. They talk about the billion.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't sound good.
We got him.
There we go.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on with us, man. Hold on through this break. Yeah, we'll get you back because we're wide open for the last hour because I keep forgetting we're firing earlier now too.
Yep, we are.
Each hour. Let's hold on there and get your thought.
All right, we're going to wrap up hour 1. We'll do it. Hour 2 going to kick off. We still have got...
Scott, this was hour 2. We're kicking off hour 3.
What did I say?
You said hour 1.
I about said another word too.
Hell, I said Jaden.
I about said I about said one of your bad words.
No, you didn't say that.
I was about ready to.
I said Jaden White. It was supposed to be Jaden.
No, I was about
Lowe.
ready to say shh. I messed up.
Well, that wouldn't have been my fault. I did.
No, but it was one of your words.
I know.
Hour 3 next.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
We're studying game film,
Seems to me there's more to college than just hitting the books.
scribbling X's and O's, even running wind sprints to get our voices in shape. All this for our coverage of college football just for you.
Just leave it to the professionals.
From spring drills to hoisting the national championship trophy. When you want football, you want 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour of Talkin Ball is brought to you by Hyundai Decatur, located on the Beltline.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 3 is back. It's upon us. University Hyundai Indicator helping us power through this one. You're cracking me up, by the way.
Yeah.
You are cracking me up because you just went to the refrigerator and and took somebody's drink out of the refrigerator and just said, I owe you a drink. You don't even know whose drink you owe.
Whoever it is, I will hook them up.
You just took somebody's cheer wine out of the refrigerator and said, damn, we don't have water here.
There's still 2 left.
So I'm drinking
got a jug of water out there or a bottle of water.
You just took some.
I mean, we've always got that,
Yes.
That water,
we're supposed to have a big crystal, a blue thing of water.
Lake water, whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
The crystal, and it's great.
Is that Terry Roberts?
I think it is.
That's who took us to lunch at the Ledges. Terry Roberts.
But his truck hasn't been delivered this week, I guess.
Terry, we need some water.
I was going to get
We're out of water.
I was just going to get me some cold water, and it wasn't there, so I'm trying this.
You just took somebody's cheer wine right out of the refrigerator.
Hell, I already took the Dr. Pepper ice cream bolt-on, bought it, stayed in there forever.
That was old stuff. You could have taken that. That was fine. Yes, that was fine. That's been in there a while.
Crawdad's Zero Snapple.
You took that too?
I had to. I had to mix it with some water. I needed something. Left it in there forever. Eventually, you got to drink it.
No wonder.
We got to go back out to the phone line. Be Rich is waiting.
Yeah, let's hour 3. We'll visit at 256-576-4977. Let's get back out there. Good morning, Be Rich.
Good morning.
Hey, Drew, are you that guy at the office that takes everybody's stuff? Eats their lunch?
Yes, you are. You just did it.
Leaves IOUs.
I don't.
He didn't even leave an IOU. He just walked by and did a verbal IOU, saying, "Hey, whoever this is, I owe you a drink."
I owe you.
It's not even anybody's here. Nobody's here to even know.
I don't know. I will hook them up. The crap's been in there forever, anyways. There's 2 of them left. I didn't take the last one, for crying out loud. I wouldn't do that.
Don't ever change, Drew. Don't ever change, Drew. Be who you are.
Oh, man. But go ahead with your thoughts, Be Rich.
Yeah, man, just to reinforce, I mean, this collective, for it to work, we've got to have people, Alabama fans, have got to put their money where their mouth is. Yay, Alabama. They've got 2 levels for $5 a month or $25 a month. That breaks down to $60 a year and $300 a year to keep this team competitive in today's climate. I've heard Aaron Suttles, you guys have had him on. He's the face of the collective. Talk about how if just half of Bryant-Denny Stadium would sign up for Yay Alabama, we would easily be one of the top 5 collectives in the country and all that. And that's not to say we're not, we'll never know, where we are. But we know that it takes an army to be competitive in today's climate. So I would implore people to join. There's all kinds of benefits you get out of it. But basically, it comes down to, if you want to bitch and complain and call into radio shows and we don't get this guy and we left that guy leave without signing the contract, I know it sucks and it's the way it is now, but it all comes down to money. So put your money where your mouth is, Bama fans. Get out there, join out Yay Alabama today. Don't wait. I did it after we lost the playoff game. I went on my Facebook account because, that's when everybody's at their lowest, and said, hey, if you want to do something about it, join, sign up. So that's what it takes nowadays, fellas.
Yep. And I will say this, Be Rich, and I can't say too much more, but you also have to run the collective properly.
Right. Do you think it's being ran properly right now? No, you don't think so. And that is that all because of not getting Hollywood Smothers?
Yes.
Simply put.
Yes.
Botched it.
Botched.
All right. 256.
Or as I call them, unmitigated disasters. And that's been the one unmitigated disaster of the transfer portal so far. Not Cam Coleman, who they swung at. And, now people are wondering about Jordan Seaton, who they recruited out of high school, who's leaving Colorado because he doesn't want to play for Coach Prime, the loser. So, the sportsman of the year when you go 4-8.
All right. Switching gears. And we got to do that because coming up tonight.
I think he went 3-9 this year. I don't think he'll be the sportsman of the year.
What did he go this year?
3-9.
Did they?
They sucked.
Coming up tonight, another round of SEC basketball. Just 3 games on the docket tonight. 24th ranked Tennessee going to host Texas A&M. Vols a 9.5-point favorite at home over Bucky McMillan and company. Bucky McMillan and Texas A&M, by the way, a perfect 3-0 out of the gates in SEC play. I think they're inside the top 9 or 8 in points per game. Alabama, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M. The SEC is littered with points per game inside the top 10. Then you got Oklahoma and Florida. Florida on the road tonight, 19th ranked Florida. They're a 6.5-point road favorite. They're at the Lloyd Noble Center for Oklahoma. And then a game right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 18th ranked Alabama traveling to Mississippi State, tied a 4.5-point favorite over the Bulldogs. And by the way, since Nate Oates has arrived at Alabama, he is 4-2 all time at the Hump, the Humphrey Coliseum, the Hump. He is 4-2 there. And I believe Alabama has won a 3 in a row against the Bulldogs.
Need to make it 4. But going to be shorthanded. Looks like no Latrell Wrightsel. Looks like Taylor Bowen will very likely be out as well, coming off of that double-double where he was one of the few that showed up against the Texas Longhorns.
Right.
So we'll see how they play against Josh Hubbard, who's very, very capable in Mississippi State. So Bama going to the Hump, needing to get a road win and make up for the debacle on Saturday where they weren't able to overcome their deficiencies on defense, their lack of rebounding, their lack of free throw shooting against Sean Miller's Texas Longhorns.
You bring up the fact that Alabama's not going to have some pieces tonight. Nate Oates was asked about that yesterday and was asked about all of the different starting lineups that the Crimson Tide have put out there this season so far.
We've had 10 different starting lineups, which I didn't even know that. And we've never had 10 different starting lineups through an entire season. And we're only halfway through the year, and we've had to have 10 different starting lineups. So not ideal, but we got some guys getting different reps. Hopefully it makes us better for, February and March. But, yeah, I hope everybody's trending in the right direction. I think, if we can get, and we're close, Sherrell's a lot closer to being 100% today than he was, a week ago, even 5 days ago. Hopefully Wrightsel, if he doesn't play Wednesday, we'll see what Saturday looks like. But then after Saturday, we've got our breaks. We got 2 games, and we don't play for a week. And hopefully by the time we come back from that, we got everybody healthy. So, we're getting closer. We'll be closer to it tomorrow. Hopefully nothing happens in the game tomorrow, and then play Saturday's game. If we don't sustain any injuries in those 2 games, I think after that week off, we should be as close to 100% as we could be, and then we can just kind of get things rolling from there. But we got 2 games in between now and then, and we're 1-2 in league play. Like, we can't afford to drop 2 more games, or we'll kind of be out of the mix at that point. So,
yeah, I mean, no question about that. And they're going to be down 2 guys for the rest of the season. One, it's been ad nauseum talked about, Chris Onyejiwaka, the big man.
Right.
He's had some issues with his heart. The procedures have worked. I think he had to have a second one. He will medically redshirt. And then the former teammate of LeBaron Philon at Link Academy, who played for our good friend Bill Armstrong, who now has Robbie Coker on his staff.
Yeah.
With McNeese State, who replaced Western Union, who's now at NC State, a.k.a. Will Wade. Well, Davion Hannah, who played some early, showed a lot of defensive potential, made some shots from 3. He will be medically redshirted the rest of the year. You will not see Davion Hannah back very likely. So you're down Hannah, you're down Chris Onyejiwaka. And so those 2 will not be in the rotation. But as of tonight, very unlikely to have Taylor Bowen, who may have been injured in practice this week. And then, and because he's on the injury report is doubtful.
Right.
And then Latrell Wrightsell, he's had recovering from the Achilles surgery, and he's had some other lower leg issues during this recovery. So he may very well get some rest. So some other guys are going to have to pick it up. Jalil Bethia, who is a big part of that press conference yesterday, people asking about his availability. Well, you're going to get a chance. You better be ready. You better make some shots, and you better understand that defense is not a matador thing. You got to guard somebody. And
look, you can come back from 1-3.
Well, you can. They're 1-2 right now, but you're going to need to be 1-3.
No, you don't want to be 1-3. That's what I'm saying. You can come back from it. You can right the ship.
Has everybody healthy, at least on their injury report, and they already won at Texas. So you ought to know they can score and they can play. So you better be ready, and they're going to be ornery because they lost to the Kentucky Wildcats 92-68.
Well, you would think Alabama would be just as angry after dropping Vanderbilt and Texas in back-to-back games.
So. You would hope after being called soft and everything else and not wanting to guard a lamppost and looking like LeBron James out there defending that they would be ready to play.
The old Olay defense?
Yeah, or load management defense. I've got a hangnail. I need to sit out for a few minutes.
Play 19 minutes and get full body cramps?
Whatever. Love LeBaron, but it's time to play like an All-American again, bruh. Hadn't made a three since Moby Dick was a minna. But I will say, Nate Oates, he's always transparent.
Yes.
LeBaron has been banged up himself. He has had a groin issue, so he hasn't been able to practice as much. That affects your performance on the court, but they need him to be at his best tonight. They need some others off the bench, like a Keaton Bristow, like a Jalil Bethia. You need to step up and play. This is a winnable game. Certainly not going to be an easy game in the hump. Mississippi State, Chris Jan's very well coached.
Yeah.
Josh Hubbard as good as any guard in the league, but you got a chance to win. They need a good game out of Aiden Sherrill. You know, he needs to get him a double-double, needs to be a big-time rim protector. They need to rebound the basketball. And, of course, they need the two freshmen, Amari Allen, who's, I think, their best all-around player, and London Jemison to bring it tonight.
And the SEC's first game of the night, I pretty much already know who you're going to take in this one. 24th ranked Tennessee and Texas A&M. Vols hosting the Aggies.
Yeah, let's go, Bucky.
I figured. I mean, that's
come
why
on.
I know.
Got respect for Rick Barnes, but I don't want Tennessee to win in anything. So even if they did get rid of the biggest cheat in college baseball history.
So you mentioned Alabama not wanting to go 1-3 in SEC play.
Yeah.
If Bucky McMillan, who, by the way, they're 9.5-point underdogs tonight in Knoxville, if they go on the road and somehow surprise Tennessee, because it would be a surprise if you're that much of an underdog. If you go on the road, the Vols would be looking at a 1-3 start in SEC play out of the gates with Rick Barnes.
Yeah. And that wouldn't be disappointing.
And then the Florida Gators, boy, they have looked so good inside the O-Dome.
Well, they've
the last couple games. Now they got to take that on the road, though.
Except for not being able to finish
at Duke.
No, Duke's a great team. They weren't able to finish at Missouri. They lost by 2. Okay,
I'm just saying.
If they had won that game, they would be off to a really good start in conference play. But they weren't able to finish at Mizzou. They lost by 2, but they've certainly responded since then. And I still think Todd Golden's got one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the SEC.
1 point loss to Duke, 4-point loss to UConn.
Yeah, both of them are pretty good.
And then that 2-point loss at Missouri.
Yeah,
to start conference play.
They've lost 5 games.
Since then, they have pounded Georgia 92-77.
Mm-hmm.
They have pounded Tennessee 91-67.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get Oklahoma tonight.
And then that Tennessee team pounded Texas to tell you how crappy Alabama played on Saturday.
By the way, Florida, circle your calendars for the 17th. Florida travels to Vanderbilt on the 17th.
Should be a heck of a game. Maybe Vandy's still undefeated at that point. If they are, it's the best start in school history for Mark Byington and the Commodores and Tyler Tanner, who would be front runner for SEC Player of the Year.
Vanderbilt tomorrow night travels to Texas.
Yeah, so come on, Texas, do something. At least make Alabama understand they lost to a good team and not some bunch of tomato cans.
9:16 on a Tuesday morning. We got to get a break in. Who knows what Drew's going to get from the refrigerator next? 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, legendary fun, legendary food.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Chad Watts from Firefly Marine. I want to tell you about the largest fishing expo in state history in Coleman on January 16th through the 18th. Shop hundreds of vendors and stop by our booth to check out our new Torchlight products. For more information about this expo, go to ultimatefishingexpo.com. The largest fishing expo in state history in Coleman on January 16th through the 18th.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Somebody pour me a drink, somebody pour me a smoke. I'm about to get on a buzz.
Every now and then. By the way, Talkin Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. 9:20 here on a Tuesday morning. And it is getting a little warmer here in the Tennessee Valley. We're up to 40 degrees right now. 56, again, is your high. 28 was our low. By the way, the low tomorrow is 31. And then the lows, these are the next lows for the week. 24, 24, 25, 23, 24, 16, 29, and 38. So for everybody that's working outside, lawn care people, be rich, and anybody else doing some outside work, make sure you're prepared. Bundle up and dress warm, because over the next 7 days, 8 days, it is going to be rather chilly to start your day. The Athletic did this, and it was kind of interesting because it kind of gives you the pulse of the fan base for college football. It kind of sheds a little bit of light onto what people really like within college football. And they did a survey, and they did it with 3,500. 3,500 people responded to these things. And it was, hey, which network do you really like watching college football on? And no doubt NBC or ABC and ESPN dominated it. 63%. CBS was number 2. Fox was number 3 in this whole thing. And what is your favorite conference network for games? Mm-hmm. The Big Ten Network won that one, 47%. SEC was number 2. And the ACC Network was a distant third at 13%. Those were the only 3.
What percentage did the SEC get?
The SEC got 39%. Big Ten got 47% of the vote.
Wow.
So
the Big Ten Network is it's scattered amongst up north a bigger.
You probably have a bigger audience because you got the Chicago audience. You have the New York audience.
Of course, I'm sure they carry the SEC Network on some cable.
The LA audience because it's out there in LA. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Holly Rowe were voted as the favorite broadcast team.
Well, I will say this. I was watching my guy Mike Valente rant about Tony Romo being off his drugs and being so bad in the booth the other day and just whiffing left and right.
Yeah.
And how bad the sideline reporting is now, because it's basically the gist of the team that can run the ball will win.
Yeah, he's not very good. He's getting paid like $18 million.
I'm just talking about even the sideline reporting.
Oh, I know. By the way, Romo's getting $18 million too.
Well, or they're talking about what kind of coat Erin Andrews is wearing, and she'll be talking about her jacket instead of the damn football game. But I mean, here's the one I'll give a shout out to. She's really good at her job, and that's Holly Rowe. You can get some insight from her.
Yep.
From the sideline. She's one of the few good ones out there.
One of the other questions in this survey was, how do you feel about Nick Saban on College Game Day?
Here we go.
73% like it.
There you go.
13% have no opinion, and 13% don't like him on College Game Day.
Well, that's LSU fans. Since he's their daddy and all.
Do you believe TV networks are biased towards certain conferences?
No, here's the thing.
That's one of the questions. Okay.
Here's what pisses me off. This is another thing where, I'm sitting here reading this X post the other day by an LSU beat writer.
Okay.
And a lot of them are my friends. They're good dudes. But this guy's like, it just hits different. Lane Kiffin got the number 1 high school player, Lamar Brown, and then he gets Sam Levitt, the number 1 guy in the portal. It's just different at LSU. Different in what? That Alabama doesn't burn your house down every time they go over there? What's Alabama's record in Baton Rouge? How many championships has Alabama won compared to the Corn Dogs? A lot more. Is LSU a really good program?
Yes.
Absolutely. Do they compare to Alabama in any fashion? No. Will they ever? No. Will Lane Kiffin ever win anything of significance? Maybe. Has he yet?
Maybe. Ooh,
no.
We get a maybe.
We get a maybe. No. He hasn't ever coached at LSU yet. Do I hope he's a colossal flop that they're making a documentary after? You're damn right. If you want to see something funny, watch SEC Shorts this week.
I did not see it.
It's
this
awesome.
Week. Why is it good? What do they do?
Well, they talked about Ole Miss's last stand.
Okay.
And then Ole Miss taking out Lane Kiffin and his fake dog.
Do you believe TV networks are biased towards certain conferences? 86% say yes.
Well, they just think that ESPN's biased toward the SEC. That's what it is.
And do you believe TV networks play an active role in driving college football playoff selections or expansion?
Hell no.
82% say yes.
No, the coaches and the players and the administrators drive that. Now the money that now it's tied in because the money the networks pay,
right?
But they don't frickin' influence who gets the dadgum, bids. Stop crying, you bunch of Notre Dame losers. That's what y'all are doing. Boo-hoo-hoo! We should be playing. No, you shouldn't. This just makes up for 1966, 1977, when Alabama got robbed. So piss on all of you. Don't care if you ever make it again. Maybe Keon Keeley can finally become a player there.
If you could have any college football play-by-play announcer in history, call your team's game, who would it be?
Easy. Keith Jackson.
48% say Keith Jackson.
There you go.
10% say Vern Lundquist.
Wow, Grandpa Vern. And Orlando McCain.
8.9% put Brett Musburger on that list.
Well, I would be looking live before I would be with Vern, even though Vern's a good dude.
Other names that were put out here, I guess they wrote them in, but you had Al Michaels, Mike Tirico, Chris Fowler, Gus Johnson, Larry Munson. Yeah, got 3% of the votes. Wow. Dick Enberg, Sean McDonough, Lindsey Nelson, Brad Nessler, Ian Eagle, and Ron Franklin.
I always liked Todd Blackledge and Sean McDonough. I always thought they did a great job when they were together.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Wolverine Dan with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hello, Dan.
That's a good question.
You there?
Hello,
Dan.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Dan. Go.
Yeah, well, we got a question for you. I'm driving with my friend in the vehicle.
Right.
We just hypothetically thinking of this question.
Right.
So let's
you talking about the broadcaster?
No. The question's about Kiffin. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Kiffin, gotcha. Go.
So let's see. Here's a hypothetical. See what your answer would be.
Mm-hmm.
I get the tendency of feeling that you don't like Kiffin. All right.
He's right up there with Philip Fulmer and Dirtneck.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Okay. So we established that.
Right.
So let me ask you this question. Could this be a possibility? Down the road, Kiffin stays at LSU for a while, establishes himself.
Right.
And then let's say I call him, I think your coach is DeBoer or DeBose.
It's DeBoer.
Sure
right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. The one Michigan wanted.
Let's say, for instance, the Alabama kicks him to the curb.
Yeah.
And let's say Alabama goes for Kiffin, and Kiffin decides, you know what, I really always wanted Alabama job because I coached with the greatest coach of all time. And if Kiffin becomes your coach, what is your opinion about that?
That I'm going to stick my head in the toilet.
You're going to stick it in the toilet?
Yeah, because I can't stand the puke. There's no way I'm supporting Lane Kiffin. That's about like William Curry. I was too young at the time to realize the ineptitude fully of William Curry, but that would be about the same.
If he, let's say, for instance, he's lucky enough, because these days, you're going to have some luck because of the NIL and whatnot.
Right.
And let's say Alabama does win a championship with Kiffin. Would you still stick your head in the toilet?
Yes. I'm not supporting Lane Kiffin in any form or fashion. I pray that he never comes. I pray the only time he comes to Tuscaloosa is to get his ass beat as the opposing head coach. He does not ever deserve to walk on that campus as a coach again. There is no way I would ever support Lane Kiffin being the coach. Ever.
Okay, well,
DeMeco Ryans. Give me DeMeco. I don't want to hear that he won't leave the NFL. He would leave the NFL, in my opinion, if Alabama were aggressive. I'm probably on an island by myself with this or with very few people, but I do think eventually DeMeco Ryans would coach at Alabama. Give me him 10 out of 10 times over Lane the Puke.
Well, okay, all right. I didn't mean to get you all riled up. I just was curious to see where you're going to go with this, but damn, a toilet. Okay, I got you. All right, well.
Can't support Lane Kiffin. I'm glad he took the LSU job. Hopefully it'll be the last one he ever takes after he gets his ass run out of coaching.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I brought it up.
He can go back to FAU after that, because usually if you flop, you can move down. He loves Boca. Let him go back there.
All right, Scott. Scott, give him a cup of coffee, all right? Let him
Well, no, we don't.
I don't think this is actually
We don't
wine,
do
though.
coffee. Coffee puts them in the
know.
hospital, literally.
Oh,
so
yeah, the last
we're
time I had coffee,
we're
I
not
fell
doing
out of
that.
some gas station.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
And I wasn't on for a month.
Oh, Lord ever.
But he just opened up the refrigerator and took somebody's drink anyway. So
Hey, if
we're
this is
good.
Brian, I apologize. Whoever this is, I'll hook you up with something.
It's sunny outside, real nice day. Go outside for a walk. There you go.
Thanks, Wolverine Dan.
I
All right, so I got to thinking. So you brought up Lane Kiffin, Jimbo Fisher, and Philip Fulmer. Okay,
right.
Are those your three stooges of college football? Is Kiffin, Fulmer, and Fisher your three stooges of college football?
Yeah, I guess they would have to be. You know, and they need a Shemp. So I guess that would be Coach L. Even though he's
funny. Won a national title.
I know. So did Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, but Jimbo Fisher did not give us this.
Hey, I'm Coach O. I just love my Hummer. I believe the Hummer is the best vehicle on the road. Big, tough, aggressive, and it represents everything that we want at Ole Miss. I have my Hummer. You need a Hummer. Tell them about it, JoJo.
Mississippi, they are here. The new Rogers Dabbs H3 Hummers are here.
The folks at Rogers Dabbs Hummer are first-team players. Come see them.
Rogers Dabbs and Hummer like nothing else. New H3 starting at just $32,000.
Love it.
See? I mean, that's got to separate him. I cannot make him the Shemp. I mean, he gave us the Hummer. Let's get a break in 9:32. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN.
Somebody will be Shemp eventually.
Who would be the Shemp of the three stooges there? You got to go. Kiffin, Fulmer, and Fisher are your three stooges. Somebody has to be the Shemp.
Curly.
Yes. Who would be the Shemp? Help us, 256-576-4977.
Auburn fans would say Brother Hugh.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight, early Wednesday morning, mid and upper 40s Wednesday afternoon under a cloudy sky. At the same time, scattered showers are going to be possible Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and then into the overnight. A couple of snow flurries could also fly through the air across northeast Alabama. Thursday, the sunshine returns. Temperatures cold, only climbing into the 30s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
But you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more
just to be them. The Proclaimers. 9:36 here on a Tuesday morning. I remember that was a lifeguard when that song was like big. Yeah, I remember that one back in the day.
Back in the day. Speaking of back in the day, our next guest.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Let's go to Floyd real fast.
He played with Lenny Patrick.
Let's go. Morning.
I think this is the same Floyd.
Morning, Floyd.
I'm assuming.
It is.
There we go.
It is. I was just going to tell you, Drew. Don't pay any attention to Scott. Sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission.
Right.
Oh, you talking about the cheer wine in the refrigerator?
Right.
It's not
but the thing, yes, I mean, it was almost like he walked out there to get some water
and then
didn't have any water, just opened the refrigerator and took somebody's drink and then walked by us and just said, if this is anybody's, I owe you one.
There's two more left.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the last one.
But it was a boss
One
move.
time there was a Diet Mountain Dew in there by itself, and I didn't take it.
It was a boss move. I'll say that. The way he did it, the way he went in there stealth-like and just executed it, it was a boss move.
Well, like I said, sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I don't call for coach's job a lot. But have you heard anything about Coach Cap? Is he coming back? Is there a chance we might get rid of him?
I've heard the most buzz about changes with offensive line and special teams, which would be Coach Cap and Jay Nunez. But that's the ones that I've heard.
Oh my gosh! I could barely watch this year. Our offensive line, big and lazy, it looked like to me. But it still falls back on coaching. I don't know. I'm glad to see we're getting some smaller ones that can move anyway.
Well, they're trying, and and if you're going to do things your way completely, and I think that's what DeBoer wants to do, and I support it. You got to go get your guys. You got to go hire the best coaches that you trust possible, and you got to do it your way. To be honest with you, I think I know Gillespie's still there. I know we've talked about, and some people say David Ballou, but see, I don't consider Ballou just a Saban guy. He worked with DeBoer before he worked with Saban.
Right.
So, but I'm just talking about the Robert Gillespies of the world, the Freddie Roaches. I think Bob Welton, I think all the Saban guys need to go, and he needs to go get his people.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Whatever happened to the offensive line coach that was at LSU?
You're talking about
I can't remember.
Well, they had Brad Davis. He went to Missouri.
I think that's probably who he's
and
mentioning.
And then he's left.
Yeah.
But then they also had James Craig. He was the offensive line coach in 2019, and he's actually come back to be an analyst and help Eric Wolford at LSU. And Eric Wolford, of course, was at Alabama for the Saban's last 2 years.
Right. I was thinking about Davis. I always liked the job that he did. But
He worked
anyway,
under Pittman at Arkansas when Pittman first got there.
Okay. Shoot, I would just soon have Pittman as Coach Cap.
Yeah.
If he would come out of retirement. Oh, all right, guys. It's good to talk to you this morning.
Thank you, Floyd.
Thanks, Floyd.
Appreciate you very much.
Right,
all right, Floyd, 256-576-4977. You can join us on the phone lines here this morning if you would like. We mentioned that you do have SEC basketball tonight. You got NCAA basketball. By the way, Alabama A&M, they were at home last night. They took on, let's see here. They took on, I got to find out who they took on Jackson State. Got a 191 win last night. Did the Bulldogs over at the event center. So congratulations to them.
Atmosphere, man.
Yeah. Oh, they
191.
I like to get down.
Up and down the floor, up tempo.
Yeah.
Big win.
Yeah. All right. 256-576-4977. If you would like to spend a little time with us here.
Well, and it's always interesting when you brought up that poll that Larry Munson made. It. Munson was always one of my favorites. And he always talked about a city that's very interesting to me in St. Simons, Georgia.
Are you surprised, like Larry Munson, Dick Enberg, Lindsey Nelson? I mean, these guys getting in, are you surprised by that? I mean, the athletic readers, I mean, it's over 3,000 people put their name on this.
Well, I mean,
no surprise Keith Jackson's number one. No surprise about that.
Not at all. It just shows that there's a lot of it was a varied audience. Very interesting one.
All others less than 1%. Others that did receive votes but did not come up on the poll. Jason Benetti, Joe Tessitore, Noah Eagle, Bob Wischusen, John Ward, Eric Collins, Kevin Harlan, Bob Ufer, Kurt Gowdy, Paul Burmeister. God, he sucks.
Dang, you're just ripping him.
Well, he's an awful quarterback at Iowa.
Oh, okay.
He's an awful broadcaster. If you suck, you suck. Ain't no doubt about
it. We found Scott's like heater. He's on a heater.
Tim Bramblow.
Yeah.
He was listed on this thing. Howard Cosell.
Did
he ever call college football?
Yeah, he called it.
Mike Leach, Bob Greasy, Jack Buck, Vince Scully, Chris Berman.
Yeah.
Those were some of the names that got less than 1% on
Chris
this
Berman's
in this
a good
poll.
Studio host. He's a crappy play-by-play guy.
I tell you what, I don't spend a lot of time watching the NFL reaction shows or anything like that. But it was a couple weeks ago, and they had their Sunday highlights or whatever, and Chris Berman was doing the highlights of just the NFL games and stuff.
He can still do it.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I miss that so much.
And Tom Jackson.
With him throwing out the nicknames and just kind of rolling with, hash brown casserole on an A. Look at that. Look at that.
Hey, don't worry about it, Scott. You'll be having some hash browns.
No, that was a hamburger with an egg, cheese, and hash brown casserole on
You're going to be at Metro tomorrow, Scott. Just be patient, man.
Was that not good? Did that not look good?
I mean, it was so crazy to watch how it was like, squirrel!
we have a lot of those moments.
Oh.
We have a lot of those moments. Hey, what was the biggest issue with watching college football on TV? 67% say too many commercials.
Really?
Yeah. 10% say too hard to change between games. And 8% said poor broadcast quality announcers. 5% said too expensive.
And sometimes it's too hard to stay focused on this show.
Oh, it is. How do you feel about the length of college football broadcasts? Do you think college football games are too long or too short?
I probably think they're too long.
59% say they're too long.
Yeah.
1% say they're too short. 39% didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
All right. 9:45. Let's get that final break in. When we get back, Jason, we'll get to your phone call as well. 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Need tough equipment you can count on? Christopher Equipment has you covered. Whether it's air compressors, trenchers, bucket lifts, concrete tools, generators, skid steers, and more. Serving you with locations in Tullahoma, Shelbyville, Manchester, Fayetteville, and Hazel Green. Christopher Equipment. From job site to backyard, rent or buy, Christopher Equipment delivers the tools you need when you need them. Call 931-455-3900 or visit christopher.equipment today. Christopher Equipment, powering your project. At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live heartfully. Live Stella.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penney Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penney perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penney Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penney Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPenneyToyota.com. Bill Penney's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The College Football Playoff National Championship. Let's go! The magical run by the 10th-ranked Miami Hurricanes continues.
There's no bad play, no bad call, no injury that we can't overcome.
When they face the top-ranked and undefeated Indiana Hoosiers.
All I can say is go on you!
Number 10 Miami versus number 1 Indiana. Coverage begins Monday at 6:30 Eastern with kickoff at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Wait a minute. Ooh. Let's go out to the phone lines. Jason with us. Good morning, Jason.
What's up, Jason?
Oh, not much. How y'all doing today?
We're doing
well.
We're
doing good.
All right, both y'all, if you could trick Kalen DeBoer getting in the vehicle with you, and you could take him to a used coach parking lot, and you got Kurt Smitty and D'Amico Ryans, are you trading him in or what?
Well, right now, I probably would.
Would you trade him for? Would you trade him for Kurt Signetti, or would you trade him for D'Amico Ryans?
I would trade him for D'Amico Ryans.
You watch his defense, and that's what Alabama needs right now. They don't have no main streak on defense.
I mean, D'Amico's just happens to be a Bama guy, but he's also younger.
Right.
I think Signetti's doing one hell of a job, maybe the best coach in college football right now, but he is already, I believe, 64 years old. So
Right.
he's had quite a run.
D'Amico could turn out to be a legend like Nick Saban, retire in 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd solve all your problems.
Yeah. I mean,
he's from Bessemer, Alabama. What's that, 30 minutes down the road?
He's endowed a scholarship at the university. He's renownedly respected and probably not as revered as he should be as a player. If he had played for Nick Saban, he would be, because he would have won a national championship and been a unanimous All-American. But he's one of the greatest to ever play at the university. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I hope this year works out for the board.
Yeah, I'll give him year 3 of the warranty. We're gonna. Yeah. Speaking of used cars, I mean, we'll let him have year 3.
Yeah, then they got to do stuff. I mean, it's all falling apart this week when they lost the kid to Texas. Smothers. I'm not talking about Coleman, but that's outrageous.
Yeah, that was just that was deplorable.
Yeah, and that's under his watch, and that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll let y'all go, fellas.
Thanks, Jason.
Appreciate that.
By the way, your media availability today for the College Football National Championship. Every day there's a media availability. Yesterday, the coaches met with the media. They did their little Zoom call thing. Today, you can visit with Rich Clark.
Oh, we've already done that.
You can visit with Rich Clark today, the director of the College Football Playoff. What's one question you would ask Rich Clark today?
Are we going to 16? Hurry up.
How about 24?
No. Somebody said it. That's how close I pay attention. They said FCS is 24. I thought they were 16. But I still don't want to go to 24. I'd go to St. Simons, Georgia if I could. Heard it's a beautiful place with a lot of great restaurants.
The FCS uses a 24-team bracket. They did that starting in 24-25. The top 8 seeded teams get a first-round bye, and seeds 9 through 16 play the remaining 8 unseeded teams in the first round for a total of 24 teams in the tournament.
Don't want 24. No. That means tomato cans are getting in, man. 4 lost teams. Not digging it.
Not digging it at all.
No. If you want to do that 24 crap, then just make a group of 6 playoff.
Okay.
Combine the group of 6 and FCS.
Right. So if you're looking at 24 teams, Ohio State, Indiana would again, Georgia, Texas Tech, 24. If you just took the top 24 teams, top 24, and this would not have happened, but if you took the top 24, you would have had an 8-4 Iowa team in there, a 11-1 North Texas team, 9-3 Houston, 9-3 Michigan, 9-3 Arizona, 9-3 Southern Cal, 9-3 Texas, 10-2 Virginia, 10-2 Tulane, 9-3 Georgia Tech, 9-3 Houston. They would have been in just by taking the top 24 in that model. Now, of course, that's not going to happen because you got all that other crap that goes with it.
Heck, man, a 24-team playoff, there may be years where 10 SEC teams make it.
Tim Bramblow says, hey, look, Greg Sankey, and he put it in a Twitter message that, yeah, you should be in favor of 24 because this way you could get the 7 teams in that you thought you should have gotten in this year.
Hell, Brando, they'd get more than that. And then you'd still be calling Mountain West games, you clown.
By the way, NFL news, the Falcons did announce in an official interview with former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. He's already been conducting interviews and phone calls with the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, Cardinals to determine what he wants to do.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think you still need to watch for the transfer portal. Todd had a good day yesterday.
Yes.
Found the receiver from NC State.
Did they lock him in this time?
Well, I'm assuming. I haven't heard anything different. If I hear something else, I'm probably going to go down there with a Louisville Slugger and start taking out windows.
Take your cheer wine with you. Was it good?
I mean, except this time I wouldn't be lying like William Curry.
Was your cheer wine good?
Yes.
Drew owes somebody a cheer wine.
I do.
We'll find out who it is.
Oh,
this is like an episode of Batman or whatever. We'll find out tomorrow on tomorrow's episode.
Same bat channel.
Who did Drew's cheer wine come from?
I don't know.